After successful completion of 4 days of our FDP, now we are going to start our last day's first session by Dr. Surjit Devnath on IoT-based cardiac pacemaker. Dr. Devnath currently is the head of the Department of Medical Laboratory Technology at Women's Polytechnic, Tripura, with more than 13 years of experience in biomedical research and high-level teaching. Dr. Devnath participated in various academic work in Institute of Germany, Denmark, and Hong Kong. Besides in premier Indian labs such as AIMS, Cytogenetics, IIT Kharagpur, Biotechnology, IIT Guwahati, Biomedical Engineering, NBPGR, Plant Genomics. Dr. Devnath is recipient of Young Scientist Award from different agencies, DBT, DST, and CSIR, and received Tata Trust grant for CME course in Royal College of Pathologists, London. He is reviewer of several Scopus SCI Index journals published by Elsevier, Springer, Biomed Central. Along with regular academic activities, he is also engaged with several biotechnology companies in Northern and Western India as a consultant. He have conducted various workshops and talks, acted as session chair in international conferences sponsored by national and international academic agencies. He delivered numerous invited talks in national and international academic gatherings. Currently, he is guiding a group of international students for their internship from Russia, Turkey, and West African countries. Dr. Devnath filed 2 patents in 2020 and 21 in India on biotechnology. So I would like to invite Dr. Devnath to share his knowledge with us. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you, madam. Yeah, thank you, madam, both of you. Okay. So I'm again privileged to have the opportunity to discuss in the August gathering, and I'm also thankful for Atal AICT for sponsoring such a wonderful concept of interdisciplinary discussion where teachers and all the fraternities are together. And it is also again a very good networking this thing also a platform also where like-minded people can come and collaborate. So with this thing, if you allow me, I shall start my presentation, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If possible, please switch on your camera also.
That would be difficult. Let me. What has happened is the bandwidth will be this a bit compromised.
Okay, sir.
So, madam, is this visible? My screen
yes,
as well as am I audible?
Yes, sir.
You are perfectly audible and the screen is visible.
Okay, fine. So, as you have already said, my discipline is biomedical research, where for a couple of years we are trying to gather some information how to go ahead with this. So, the today's discussion would be based on IoT-based connected and smart biomedical devices, where we'll be talking about cardiac pacemakers and their security issues. So, I'm very much sure that all these days, okay, you have already have sufficient information from respective dignitaries about this, but this session would be a bit biased with the exact biomedical issues that are there and where we can implement or deploy these concepts of Internet of Things and connected devices for the greater benefit of humankind. So what exactly happens is these are some commonly used devices which are very much possible to get connected to a network, whether it will be a little local network or the cloud itself. So these are common devices which are in trial somewhere, and some cases this has also been deployed with various degrees of success. So the deep brain neurotransmitter, neurostimulator is a case where if the patient is suffering from this kind of what do you call as a trauma or some kind of injury which has resulted into a temporary shutdown of the neural activities of the brain, in that case some kind of stimulation through electrical impulses would be beneficial. So that was a device which is a deep brain neurostimulator which can enhance the recovery from coma. And then there is the cochlear implants. Okay. Madam, I think you have given me a lot of credentials, and therefore the attendees who are entering, would you please keep it to yourself so that this do not appear here?
Sir, actually now we have made you co-host. So in that case, it will appear to you also. I am
Yes,
admitting
yes,
them.
yes.
You will not get disturbed, but since you are
Okay,
co-host, you will be
okay,
getting that
okay,
information.
okay, okay. Madam, I have forwarded one email. I think the things are there with you.
All the videos are available with us, and we were not able to install that software that you have asked for.
We can do it right away. There will be no big problem. Later on, after some slides, we can get back there,
Yeah.
and it will be like 5-10 minutes.
Okay, sir, definitely. We are
So
trying for
the
that.
other things are cochlear. Yeah, yes, yes, madam. So cochlear implants are okay. Cochlear implants are okay. Cochlear implants are those devices which will help to have sufficient sound in those patients who are having some compromised auditory system, or where they need to do some kind of difficulty to hear some voices. Then there is one more important device, that is cardiac defibrillator and pacemaker, upon which we will have our discussion a bit. Then there is insulin pumps, again a very excellent device, which has a real-time capability to increase or decrease the dosage of insulin that has been given to patients suffering from insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus, and so on. And then there is a foot drop implants, which again would help to have those sensations of those patients who have their limbs amputed and they are using some kind of prosthesis. So sometimes what happens is, once the this thing is not there, they also feel they also do not feel the sensation of a limb, which is very disturbing, more in geriatric patients, elder patients. So this kind of implants would help them to have some kind of sensation, so that they can move their prosthetic limbs in a proper way. So these are the different things, and the basic objective of deploying IoT technology in biomedical devices to that. Many times it has been seen that a hospitalization requires for a patient only for the monitoring purpose. Okay, so many a times it has happened that only for monitoring purpose, a patient should get admitted to a hospital for prolonged period. It may not be necessary for the medication purpose, but also for the monitoring purpose, because it is not very easy to monitor vital statistics, for example, blood pressures and so on, and some internal parameters such as cardiac impulses and so on, at a real-time basis. Till now, the technology was not there, and therefore, in those cases, a patient needed to be admitted in the hospital. Now, hospital bills everywhere is very costly thing. Healthcare itself is a very costly thing everywhere, including India. And if it requires human intervention, it becomes much more costlier, isn't it? So if you go to a medical facility of a primary, tertiary, or any kind of medical facility, where you take the services of plenty of medical personals, and therefore other than the medicines also, there are plenty of huge cost is there. So what would happen if we can automate the whole process by deploying IoT, and the real time basis monitoring could be possible from a remote place? Now that will give you a very good opportunity to reduce the cost of medical treatment to a significant extent. So that was the idea behind putting IoT in medical devices. The rest of the other applications, I am sure you are already having sufficient idea of it. So that was the reason that these devices were in, this technology was in demand. So usually what has happened, these are some sensory points where we can deploy these devices. And from these devices, the real-time data will be fed into the cloud, and from the cloud, anybody can access it, those who have to be that access. So this whole process makes into a smart medical architecture where most of the devices are connected, most of the test data are being put on the network at a real-time basis, and therefore a complete profile of a patient is prepared once the patient enters into the system. Okay, whether he is taking the treatment from home or inside the hospital, smart medical system would ensure that there is sufficient profile with excellent data, and which will also deploy data science concepts in order to make optimized predictions. So mainly what exactly happens is we are doing this exercise in order to reduce the cost of the treatment and also to predict some kind of diseases which could occur in later point of time. So we'll come to those points exactly. So in medical, smart medical architecture, since most of the devices are connected, as you can see here, non-invasive ECG sensor, this is an existing facility. Then implantable imaging systems, then hospital information system, then e-health archives, comprehensive information system, personal electronic medical system, all such things are connected to a network, and therefore it also becomes vulnerable to cyber security threats. So there are multiple issues which are related to deployment of IoT concepts in biomedical sector. As all of we can understand that biomedical data is very, very sensitive in multiple points. Some ethical issues are there. Then there is also a financial aspects to it. Let me give you one example. For example, you have entered into a hospital and the hospital has made a profile of yours, and then the profile goes to a third party, say a provider of health insurance, and the health insurance provider will come to know about all your basic data in a nutshell, and he can decide whether he will be getting some kind of what you call is benefit for your health insurance or not. Or they can also take decisions whether you will be given a health insurance in the first place or not. These data are very, very crucial data. And there is also an ethical problem to it. For example, a patient is suffering from a life-threatening diseases. So do we share the data to everyone in cases like some stigmatic diseases, for example, HIV, cancer, and so on and so forth. So there are several issues, and the security issues also is there. Now this is the general architecture. Most of us already use this for different other kinds of, for example, automated switches, TVs, monitors, and so on. These are the general architecture. But what is next to it? Okay, so this is again the integration of artificial intelligence and data science into this platform would enhance again the probability to predict certain diseases. In our lab, ours is a very small laboratory with very limited resources, but we do collaborate and try to explore as many as possibilities as we can. But here our objective is to talk about the cardiac problems, the heart related ailments, and is there a possibility that we can predict it beforehand. And in order to do so, we need to monitor a patient for a very long period of time, which may not be possible by putting the patient into a hospital, but that should be done in a real-time basis, and that also by using IoT. So we are coming to that thing also. Okay, so recently there has been a very good report where artificial intelligence has predicted perfectly without any what we call false positives or false negatives how long a patient will survive if he or she having a particular kind of tumor or a cancer or any kind of disease. So what these people did is the report was published in 2020 in PLOS ONE. PLOS ONE is a journal which is very high in impact and covers topics including computer science, biomedicine, and everything else. So what they did is they have established a fine-tuned artificial neural network system which can able to predict on the basis of certain image processing of biopsy samples how long a patient will survive with 100% accuracy. They have also included the concepts of some other biomedical aspects, which I'm not going to discuss here. So, what exactly we are trying to say is there is huge scope in prediction and predictive medicine, but for that we need to have some real-time data, a very large amount of data, which will ultimately result into the big data systems. So, in that aspects, this could be the overall architecture of IoT-based smart medical devices, which can not only monitor the patient's condition, but also can able to predict which kind of medication is needed, which kind of medical intervention is needed, without the help of a what do you call is human intervention. So what exactly happens is once we use the healthcare person, that means in person, if a doctor comes, it takes a lot of this thing. What do you call is it has a huge cost, because to train a doctor for like 10 years, there is huge cost in it. So therefore, whenever he'll use his consultancy for some services, so there must be some charges for it. In the contrary, machine learning and artificial intelligence is very shall I say cost effective, because once you deploy the network, the rest of the other to maintain the network and all such things is not very costly. So what exactly happens is the whole exercise becomes very cost effective to the patient once we can combine these two things, removing the obstacle of staying into the hospital for a very long period of time, and also overcoming the need of a medical person to detect or to diagnose the basic repetitive things in the hospital. So if we can remove these what we call barriers, or shall we say scientific bottlenecks, so the healthcare will be very beneficial and very affordable for everyone. So a bit of these things are already been done through shall we say telemedicine and some WhatsApp based treatment plans and so on, but this is not in full scale. The potential is huge. Only a part of it has been used till now. So in case of cardiac monitoring, let us see how exactly we can use those concepts at a large scale in order to do very good outcome in cardiac what do you call as treatment. Madam, would you please play the first video so that we can share a little more with the participants
Yes, sir.
how cardiac monitoring at real time can look like.
Yes, sir.
In the mute condition, madam, the first video is. Then I'll come to this slide.
There
The
is some
video is
problem,
running.
sir. No, sir, video is not running. There
No,
is some
no.
problem. Let me check.
No, I tell you, madam, what you do is if you have opened multiple YouTube links, you close all this. Only the single link you play. So what happens is the bandwidth problem may be there because it is all buffering.
Okay.
Many a times you may have opened most of the link.
Yes, sir.
So in YouTube, what happens is one link, one video closes, then one more video starts, and it will keep on going. So please switch off all these other windows. Only the first link you click, so that it becomes easier. Yes.
Yes, sir. I'll see.
हाँ मैडम थोड़ा शुरू से दीजिए या so what has happened, this person has been drugged and he is having मैडम full screen कर दीजिए मैडम हाँ so this person has been drugged with a cardiac glycoside. So what it does is it interrupts the bioelectrical signals that are propagated in the heart by a drug. But this person is very, very smart. He's having a IoT based device. So what it will do is he'll connect it to a network, and then he'll transmit his cardiac data to his friends. Now his friends are equally smart, and they are having a network in place where they'll able to monitor the heart condition of this person at a real-time basis, and then they can also help him to use some kind of medication or treatment so that he can survive. So he's having this mobile device with him. So it is a defibrillator which will uh, uh, reorient the electrical activity that is taking place inside the heart at a real-time basis. So they have identified this drug also. They have identified this drug also, which has been given to this person. Since the sensor was there in his blood. Now they are trying to build a connection so that they can see the exact condition of his heart. So this is again one more sensor. Yeah. Now the ECG is online at a real-time basis. His friends can able to see, and now his friends are telling him to deploy the device so that his cardiac cycles are reoriented. So he has put the lead. This is an electrode which should be placed near the heart, but he could not place it in a proper time and he collapses. He was having now this thing blood pressure as well as the heartbeat is getting reduced, and there are chances that he'll die. But again, this person becomes very lucky, and one of his friend comes and switches on the device, and he comes back to life. Okay, so this has happened, and his friends are relieved that this time the person has survived the condition. So what might have gone wrong? Let us see this. Thank you, madam, for sharing it. So again, okay. Okay. So what exactly happened? This is the analogy of the cardiac circuitry that is there. So what exactly happens is the heart is made up of a particular kind of muscle, which is having a typical kind of architecture so that it resembles a cardiac electrical circuit. So here also the transmittance of the ions are based on 3 specific kind of channels. Okay, now multiple different devices are there in the human body which runs through bioelectrical signals. We are not discussing it. These are some classworks that we do in the class. Okay, so what exactly has happened is the cardiac circuitry is such that the building blocks of the heart will sense the electrical activity and accordingly it will behave. So in the normal case, the top graph is being seen, which is called ECG. In the top graph, if you see, this is called regular sinus rhythm, which is very, very regular if you can see. But many a times due to drugs, due to some other problems and so many more, there are these 4 types of, mainly 3 types of major abnormality that can be seen in the cardiac electrical circuitry. And we are having a very good method to detect this electrical activity of the heart, which is known as electrocardiogram. Very simple device, costs maximum 100 rupees anywhere you do it, but gives a lot of data. But there are some limitations of this data also. I'll come to that point. So initially what exactly happens is sinus tachycardia is a condition where if you can see the magnitude is still same, the frequency increases, isn't it? If you can see, that means the electrical circuitry is having more electrical impulse, and which ultimately leads to extraordinary work pressure on the heart. This is called tachycardia. The opposite is also possible, where the impulse is reduced. That is the frequency you can see has been extended to a significant extent, which is known as bradycardia, sinus bradycardia. And one more case, what exactly happens is there is some irregular electrical activity, which is known as arrhythmia. That means the rhythm has been broken. So in all these 3 cases, if any one of it prolongs for a very large part of time, it can be a fatal case, and it can also lead to a condition called sinus pause, where the electrical circuitry will completely shut down and there will be no looking back. Okay, so what exactly is also known as cardiac infarction or heart attack. So why these things happens, we cannot able to discuss the whole scenario in this limited talk, but we can definitely understand that the electrical impulses should get regulated, and there should be some point where it originates, and the propagation of the electrical impulse is required for the mechanical activity that your heart does. Okay, so in this case what exactly happens is, if there are some blockage in it, Okay, now these are the three ion channels which are responsible for the regular cardiac activity of the heart. Okay, so any medicine any person takes which is related to heart is or are affecting these three channels. So any medication that you take, anybody takes for heart related ailments, it could be for high blood pressure, it could be for low blood pressure, it could be for anything else. Anything related to heart works on these three channels. Therefore, all heart medicines are known as either beta channel blockers, calcium channel blockers, or so on. So these are the channels through which the cardiac impulses runs and eventually gives you a proper biomechanical support in order to circulate your blood throughout the body. So what would happen if there are some blockage or some disturbances in the what do you call ion channels? So it will eventually lead to diseases, isn't it? The same we have seen in the video where the very smart man was being drugged by a particular drug which is known as the digitalis. So digitalis is a cardiac drug which will eventually close or shut down these channels, and if not treated properly, the cardiac what do you call impulses will be arrhythmic and eventually it will cause death. So again, since it's a morning class and many a times people feel dizzy, in order to make it a little interactive, I may request once again our madam to share the second video where we will just see very fast that how exactly the electrical activity takes place in the heart. Then later on we will come back again in IoT, how IoT can help. Madam, would you please again? Yes. So yes, so how it works, although it may not be of interest of most of the persons present in the FDP, however थोड़ा सा आगे कर दीजिए. हाँ सही है. So but there is no harm if we learn, if we come to know this. So what exactly happens is heart is a very large device and it performs a very complicated task, and therefore the task has been divided to different parts so that the execution becomes very smooth. Now the execution is basically dependent on the electrical circuitry of the heart, where a particular impulse is originated on the surface of the heart and through the muscles or the shall I say building blocks of heart, it will propagate throughout the body, and eventually it will get initiate the mechanical process where the blood circulation will take place, as you can see here. So these electrical activity and the mechanical activity are highly coordinated. If at all there are some problems in this smooth transition, there would be, as you can see here, the pulses are originated and moving towards different sites at different time, which leads to the formation of the graphs that you see in your ECG. Okay. So what exactly happens is, if there are some interventions, these are very fatal. Thank you, madam, again. So I'll once again get back. Okay. Thank you for your excellent coordination, madam. I'm sorry I could not do it from my end. So
It's my pleasure, sir, actually.
okay.
Thank you.
So what exactly happens is, yeah. So these are some little more descriptive things. One thing I would like to tell you, in the top figure you can see, what exactly happens is there is a concept called reduction of noise. So reduction of noise means removing unwanted data. Okay. So when heart, as you have seen that it's a very complex process, so it generates multiple different peaks at different areas and different sites of the heart. But for simplicity, what we do, we only take 4 major curves and make it into ECG. So what exactly happens is multiple different electrical activity are overlooked. Understood. So in order to reduce the noise, because this becomes plenty of data, and ECG has been a medical device like last 60 70 years. So in those days we were only had a very gross type of what we call is transducers and receivers, which could not identify these minute electrical changes. Anyway, although today we can differentiate those, we just want to tell you that what exactly happens is there are multiple electrical activity that we overlook when we look at a ECG. So one more thing, this is the graph without the white noise or without the noise. So what exactly happens here is we are overlooking multiple things, and therefore we are also reducing our possibility to predict a next event which may come after like 5-10 years or 10-15 years. So what exactly happens is when you are looking at an ECG, you are only seeing the present cardiac condition, that also at a very gross level. So what would happen if we could have identified those minute electrical changes which would help us to predict what would be the condition of the cardiac circuitry, say next 15 years, 10 years, or 5 years down the line. So we have reduced our capability to do so. So what we have studied that okay. So in the worst case scenario, when everything has gone wrong, what is the option for the medical practitioner? They can deploy an artificial pacemaker inside the heart. So it will not be inside the heart; it will be as the near the cardiac cavity, but just beneath the skin of your chest. So it will be deployed, and one lead of that device will enter into the heart, and on the basis of the requirement of the problem. So there are 3 types of cardiac pacemakers: 1 lead, 2 lead, and 3 lead. If only in a single chamber, as everyone knows already, there are multiple chambers in heart, altogether 4. If there is a problem in a single cavity, then 1 lead pacemaker is sufficient. If there are more than, then it could be 2 or 3. Okay. Now the thing is, these will be deployed at a case where everything wrong has already been taken place. Now this is the generation of these cardiac devices. Initially, it was a large device, as you can see. Like previously, we had our watches, no, electronic watches. In those, we used to have this kind of batteries. These were large batteries and very big stuff which needed to be implanted in your chest cavity. And there were multiple different problems. The problems were that you cannot withstand MRI. For example, if you want to go to MRI, you cannot do if you are having a cardiac stent or what do you call cardiac pacemaker. So later on, a new technology developed where there was an inbuilt gyroscope inside the pacemaker, and it was just like a grain of a rice, which would be implanted directly into your heart. It's a very small device, and it can monitor everything. So previously, one more problem was there. Let me tell you. In the earlier types of cardiac pacemakers, the problem was that it cannot differentiate between noise. Again, the filtering mechanism was not very good, and therefore the device could not understand whether you are doing your regular exercise or you are having some cardiac arrest. Are you getting? So what exactly happens is the device is built in such a way that if the cardiac electrical activities are extensively more, then also it can able to reduce the cardiac activity. Now, if it is very low, then also it can increase the cardiac activity. Are you getting? So in order to do so, it needed to have some very good sensors. So those days, but till today, the sensors are not very good. For example, a patient who is sleeping, so cardiac activity is already very low. So the device cannot understand whether the patient is sleeping or the patient is having some real trouble in his heart. So what it will do is it will start pushing impulses so that heart becomes more faster in its activity. Are you getting? The opposite is also true. If the person is having really doing some good exercise, the device cannot differentiate whether the patient is having some cardiac arrest or the patient is having some cardiac exercise. So in that case also, he will put some wrong signals and the heart muscles will get injured. Getting? So in order to reduce these possibilities, IoT can help and do a path breaking work in order to deploy very good filtering mechanism, that is to identify the real condition of the heart, where you can differentiate between regular exercise and real cardiac event. So those are the things. And one more important thing is the at a molecular level. Now this is the molecule, or shall we say the protein, which builds the heart. Okay. So as I have said earlier that today ECG gives you the current condition. It cannot predict It cannot also say what might have gone wrong previously. It can also able to say what would have been the case like 10 years or 15 years down the line. So what it does, what ECG does, ECG only gives you the current situation, whether right now you're having some problem or not. I'll break it into some more fragments. The moment you are taking the ECG curve is showing that particular time only. Just when you remove the leads and get up and sit on your table or chair, what is happening at that point of time, it can also not able to diagnose it. So what happens is we are having a very limited scope to monitor the cardiac events. Now in this case, what exactly happens is this is the molecule which makes the heart. So whatever trauma, whatever stress is there in the heart, first of all, this molecule identifies. So this becomes a natural sensor which is already there in the heart, but we are not good enough to identify the problems which it can sense. So what exactly happens is if there are some real cardiac injury, these are the molecules which will sense it first. So now today we are not having a technology to sense these problems at a molecular level. This protein is known as myosin, which is a very sensitive molecule which makes the heart and it can also receive those signals which are being generated very early. And by seeing and looking into this particular molecule, we can also predict what will be the condition of the heart in coming next 10-15 years. So our lab is deploying our resources in order to simulate the condition of this particular protein. So what are the things we can simulate? We can simulate the ionic behavior. Okay. Now ionic behavior is this. What? So as I have said that if there is a increased calcium ion inside the heart muscles will become lethargic. Understood? So it can simulate, it's a computational program which can simulate the condition of the heart, and it can simulate these 4 parameters. First, the presence or absence of an ion. So if a particular ion is there, what will be the stress on the particular protein? So that we can simulate. Then we can also simulate the temperature. Many a times you may have heard that a person who was standing long time under the sun has underwent a sunstroke. Now, what is a sunstroke? Sunstroke is a condition where cardiac arrest takes place due to increased heat, because the heart cannot withstand that increased temperature and eventually it collapses. So we can also simulate the condition of temperature, then ligands. Now, what is the ligand? The first video that everybody else is praising. In that video, we saw that the person has drank one glass of something, and in that there were some drug, and therefore he collapsed. So we can also simulate presence or absence of drugs near this protein, and we can see how long it can withstand, and therefore it gives us an ability to understand what will be a future scenario if this prolongs for a particular period of time. And then you see the 4th point is time. We can also simulate the time, how long a particular drug is there inside the heart, how long a particular ion is there inside the heart, all of this. So this requires a lot of computational resource, and common computational tools cannot help us, but still we can have some idea to see what will be the impact on this protein which makes the heart. Okay, I'll come back to this thing a little later. So during 2013-14, we were given a project to find out a real heart problem by a particular foreign investigation agency, and we found out the results, and we submitted our study, and eventually this has become a hallmark in that particular disease, which is known as Barth syndrome. It is not very related to electrical activity, but it is related to the heart's condition. Anyway, so this would be a smart architecture of a cardiac monitoring device, which will not only monitor the real condition of the heart at a 24/7 basis, and it will also transmit the data to a what we call a server, which can be accessed by a resource person, that is a medical practitioner, and at a real time he can also propose medicines as well as electrical impulse at a real time. It will be a regulated one through a artificial neural network. Anyway, so what exactly happens is this becomes very, very smart. But once we put our data into a network, it also becomes vulnerable to what you call as security threats. So these are the things where the connections usually takes place through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 3G, 4G, 5G, and so on. And therefore, what exactly happens is there are some problems related to it. Once we are more connected, we are becoming more and more vulnerable. And as I have said that once you have deployed a cardiac monitoring device, which is a IoT, then what happens is it may happen that it falls into a third party which are having some vested interest, and they can able to manipulate or maneuver the device. So which is highly likely in these conditions. So there should be very stringent regulations which will prohibit individuals to indulge in this kind of activity. So this is also very important. In India, till now, there has been no such development in connected devices and biomedical data that we share regularly through your doctor, through some app which gives you access to a doctor. He is having your data, what he is doing with this, with what the company is doing with that, isn't it? So anyway, that is a matter of discussion. It's a separate platform. So these are the things. So once a patient enters, okay, now this is one more important and interesting thing. Along with the financial frauds, biomedical fraud is also very common. So I think I have cited some report from IEEE where they have mentioned that there is a huge risk of biomedical data breach. Okay, now these are the things that we do usually when we enter into a medical means in our lab we are having a facility to monitor approximately 15 or more than 15 different parameters, including blood, ECG, EEG, X-ray, and so many other things. And we are having large collaborations with tertiary hospitals where we get able to get data on MRI, CT, and so on. Anyway, so what we do is once the patient enters into the facility, we take the ethical clearance from him, and accordingly we let them know that why exactly we are taking this data, and eventually we tell them that the individual's this thing, what we call identity, will never be shared because it's an academic program. However, there are some possibility that it can go outside my lab through some kind of device. Nobody knows. So there should be some stringent regulations, and there should be some stringent guidelines as well. So these are the attacks that can be there in an IoT-based biomedical what do you call pipeline. So these are the things, as you can see, that information collection attacks, then database attacks, website hacks, and then operating device attacks. These are all possible, and this has been reported throughout the world. Okay. For example, I have a device which I have implanted into a patient, and I am watching it for 24 hours through the network, and somebody breaches into the network, and they also get the data, and they can use it for different purposes. We also still do not know what could be those purposes, but we can understand, we can sense it, that there may be some vested interest, and therefore the IoT based biomedical device security becomes a very, very large issue. So I'll come to that point even. Okay. These are the common things that has been already been taken place. Attacks. WannaCry ransomware, which has infested into MRI and CT scans, which are having some access to the network, not a real-time IoT, or not a true IoT. Then Eternal Blue, which has infected the implanted defibrillators, and then DOS memory and CPU consumption problems are also there, which has attacked on blood pressure monitors and X-ray machines, which are somewhere connected to some kind of network or by Bluetooth or by something. So these are some these things which has already been reported. These are some published data which has been taken from this previous researches. And this is a very recent phenomenon where a whole biomedical article was been compromised. So what exactly happens? There is a system called Da Vinci surgical system. Now, what is this? It produces positron rays which can identify particular kind of cancer and also can treat it by putting beta emitters or beta rays, which is also known as radiotherapy for cancer. It is highly directed and very, very precise. Now, this is connected to a network because the maneuvering is very different and difficult. For example, a person has been can be treated at a hospital in Northeast by a doctor who is staying in Delhi NCR or somewhere else. Understood? Where the particular this thing, what you call expertise, is available. It is not just a telemedicine, but it is real-time therapy, which can be given from a remote place in order to reduce the cost. Otherwise, the doctor should come to a particular city in Northeast and then do the treatment. But if this kind of an architecture is there, it can be done from a remote place. But here what has happened is the network was been compromised by a malware, and eventually the dosage of the beta ray was much more than the required. And therefore, the cancer has been treated, but some new disease has occurred in the person. So it is very, very fatal and very, very serious condition. So there should be very stringent guideline in order to handle all these conditions. So there were some more, but since we are having some videos, may I request Madam to play on the next video, and I'll explain what exactly is going on there. Yeah. Okay. So here, one of our intern is taking the ECG. Okay. Yes. This is how we deploy these leads, which are very gross on the limbs as well as on the chest in a Einthoven triangle that we usually call it. So, and she'll also put some electrolyte gel so that there is less interference between the electrodes and the skin, and eventually we'll generate a model or a curve which is devoid of very minute electrical impulses, but only the gross one, and which is only have the ability. The patient is lying. He is a patient with certain kind of problem, and the current situation can only be detected by this what we call ECG. So in order to monitor 24 hours the patient, we need to deploy something which is internal, and it should be monitored at a 24/7 basis by either an artificial neural network or by a treatment provider or a clinical person. So this is how we usually take it. Okay, madam. Thank you, madam. So, madam, we'll go to the next video. This is a simple setup everybody knows about. So, when the patient or any normal individual who have approved our research ethics and can also donate his or her data to our lab. Okay, madam. The next video, I'll go ahead together one by one. Okay. Yes. So what exactly happened is, as we have said that the protein we have deployed, the protein is such that it can sense the all problems that are present in the periphery. Okay, but we are not having sufficient good electrodes or receivers which can receive these signals. Now this is the protein, the myosin that we have shown you. When there is so much of stress, the whole protein has broken down into pieces. Okay, now this is a simulation. We have done it in a computer architecture to understand what will be the effect of those ligands, temperature, ions, and so on. So it shows that it will completely destroy the protein. in a severe case. Now, once the protein destroys, the patient will also go into cardiac arrest and the patient will eventually die if not treated. Okay. Now, if the degree of what do you call trauma is less, that means you are not putting sufficient amount of drug or there is no drug at all, only some iron problem which can be corrected by some medicine, as I have said. In those cases, what will be the case? We can see. So, madam, please play the second video. This is the worst case scenario where the heart muscle has completely collapsed. Okay. Now we shall see the second video where the disorientation of the protein is there, but with a limited scope. So in order to visualize those at a real time, we shared one software also, which is a very small software. We shall see if it could be done. Okay. Okay, fine. So see, now this is the case. Now here you see the protein, that is the myosin of heart, the heart muscle has been broken, but still there are some intact entity. Can you see? There are some spiral like things, isn't it? The analog telephones where they are no, like this, the round staircases. So these are the part of that protein. We call them beta sheets, alpha helix and so on. So here what is happening? Heart attack is there, but the patient will survive. That means in a remote case, if it is prolonged for a very large period of time, it can be fatal. But if it would have been treated, it could be get recovered. So here you see the protein has not completely destroyed, isn't it? It has destroyed. It has not remained intact due to initially it was for 15 picoseconds, and then we increased the time, and therefore it destroyed, but not significantly as the earlier one, isn't it? So this is how we can simulate the condition of the heart, and if we can generate sufficient good what we call transducers, so we can also even find out a molecular level trauma of the heart, and we can able to predict that at which age you need to deploy a stent or you need to put a cardiac pacemaker, and we can take more informed decisions for patient care. So that is the whole idea. So you need to monitor the patient, and by monitoring at a real-time basis without the need of hospitalization, you are already reducing the cost to a significant extent. Then by deploying an IoT-based platform, you are again, okay, madam, Anshar, madam. Okay. So you are again reducing the cost to again a significant extent, isn't it? So that is the whole idea and the beauty of this thing. And we are collaborating with multiple labs who are also working in this regard. And we also found many problems regarding this. For example, one such problem is the simulation problem, where we need to deploy multiple different tools and techniques in order to understand different parameters. And is there any possibility that we can use a single tool to predict multiple different parameters? We submitted our first patent in 2021, and we are in the process to get it granted, and we are even talking to a MSME, a government registered MSME, to monetize our product so that we can market it. This is one of a small MSME who is interested. This is the other. So we are not only, we will not sell the patent directly, but we will have some collaboration and constant small steps we will take. And recently one of our group has submitted one proposal to IIT Bombay, and in the first round we cleared it, and we are hopeful that in next couple of years to generate successful funding. So madam, again I'll request you to share the next video. Sorry for the interruption. So, see, the patient has admitted, and we are taking so much of data from him for the betterment only. And there is huge connectivity. Everything we are taking, we are putting into the network. We are sending it to our collaborators who is staying outside in US or somewhere. So everything is going on. Okay, but there are some problems. What is the problem? Somebody will having a malware or very good kind of code, they can interfere eventually into the network and take all the data and use it for some other issue, isn't it? So there is huge risk. So we cannot take that risk. This is a third party video, but nicely this thing demonstrated the thing we are worried about. So anyway, so what happens is there are some problems. So the problems are this: there are cyber security interventions which are not very proper in India. So I'll call the device provider. For example, we have taken MRI from Siemens, or let's say GE Healthcare. So we are calling them, but they are saying that you are using a geo network. You talk to those people, but there are multiple different problems to it. Yeah. So, madam, please put it in the full screen, madam. So then there are this is the thing, the vendor's problem. Okay, so they say that you take help from that, and you take, but the other party says that you take from some other one. So and one more problem is that we also know very little. So we are ourselves are not security experts, and therefore our networks are already vulnerable. So there are multiple different problems to it. The problem is much more in interdisciplinary research, where biomedical scientists are trying to deploy something where the network engineers can help, and so many other things. However, it has been seen for many instances that interdisciplinary research will ultimately give rise to very good breakthroughs other than the classical research. For example, a computer scientist is working on computer science and not collaborating properly with a biomedicine. So it may happen that his innovations are of very limited scope. So there is again, you want to this thing that there is huge scope in interdisciplinary performance and platforms where many can come together with their sufficient expertise, and eventually we can have very good innovations. Okay, madam, thank you again. So we are about to end our this thing. I thought that we would have some time to deploy and run the data files, which would have given you an idea that what exactly happens on the protein at a three-dimensional model. I had shown you a video at a three-dimensional model how the heart proteins are destroying due to heart attack, and how we can identify by deploying proper sensors. And is there a possibility that we can design something and then put it into the network, so that at a real time we can monitor these cardiac anomalies. So by saying so, I would like to conclude, and if there are some specific queries from participants, I'll be very happy if I can answer them. And if time permits, we can deploy this thing. So I'll put it to the coordinator. If they permit, we can deploy the software. Otherwise, we can have the discussion from participants.
Yeah, actually, sir, we are unable to install that software. So if you
Okay.
can run it from your side.
Okay. So, so yes, I could have using a limited, shall I say, resources.
Yeah.
Therefore, there was a bit problem. Anyway, most of the things has been this thing discussed. And if there are some queries from participants regarding this.
Yeah, if participants are having any query, they may please ask. And sir, you have shared some of the files in which one video is still pending. If you want, I can run that also.
Madam. Okay, okay. Right, right. Please, madam, please.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay. So this is again a fun video that what can go wrong. It's a huge long video. In that a cardiac anomaly has been raised. मैडम यू मेक इट टू 50%. आप इसको बहुत आगे लेके जाइए, एकदम बीच बराबर तक कर दीजिए. तो बहुत सारा इसमें इंफॉर्मेशन. हाँ, here we shall see that in the worst case scenario what can happen. Okay, so the person is trying to save this child, this lady, because she is having a severe cardiac trauma. So the person is about to die because the circuitry has completely collapsed. Now, in that case, cardiac pacemaker will not help. In that case, there should be a defibrillator. So the defibrillator is a device which usually most of us have seen. So in that device, what exactly happens is huge amount of electrical potential will be applied to the chest. Okay, and it will be thought that the patient will survive because the circuitry has completely been broken. Okay, this is the defibrillator. So I think you have seen it. So inside the person is trying to deploy the defibrillator, but since he is not very trained, he cannot able to do it. But here the parents are very hopeful that things will be okay. So this person do not know how to deploy it. This is an external device which is possible in complete trauma. Heart is about to get collapsed completely and there is no looking back. At that point of time only defibrillators. Now you will see the impact of it. Now he has kept it there and now he will put the plug and at full scale. There is some sound. And once this thing has been there and the person is thrown, and due to the impact only, the person's this is since a fantastic movie, therefore it is possible, but in life it may not be. Anyway, so this is how the cardiac ailments are there, and we are very much hopeful that in time to come there will be very good innovations which will help people to get rid of these ailments in a fraction of what do you call cost that is still there. So by saying so, I would like to conclude. Thank you, madam, for sharing it with excellent coordination and this thing timeliness. Thank you.
So if any of the participants, if they want to ask something, they may please ask.
Hello.
Yeah. Shailen.
Yes, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah,
Actually,
good
before I'm looking forward the movies, but actually my question is, if the heartbeat is starting from the underground mines, that means you have to understand a miners working in the underground mines, and what is you have to take the decision at the time of heart attack, at the time of any sensible atmosphere like a toxic gases, a person, what is the first informations you have to send the person, because they have to doing the working in on mines. Actually my topic is how to sensor technology we have to use in a body and a person to working from the underground mines, but a signal is breaking at the moment of the any breaking for the toxic gases, any for the SCH, methane gases. My question is, how could you have to send the message with the picture format? Yeah, when the message is, if the any circumstances for the miners, how could the possible to take the granted that is given the information with the picture format, with the signal format, with the any particular task format, that means to understand to save the miners from the any unaffectioned body for the any work, because they have to totally depend upon the oxygen, they totally depend upon the underground mine without the atmosphere is not there. So that is the question. What is the first preference precaution to take there? So the program, that is, I have to sending the graph for the protein is breaking at the heart attack at the time of some glitch in between them. So first of all, if we have to what are they checking the a percentage work to underground mine before we have to check in. Otherwise, we have to not take in any work from that side. So what is the first precaution we have to take? That is mentioned in your project, sir.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So after your this thing explanation, what I figured out is that you want to identify the toxic gases that are present in the mines, and you
Yes,
also
sir.
want to give alert to the miners. Yeah, give alert to the miners that there are some toxic gases.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
at a real-time basis. Understood. Now, what is the problem? The problem is there should be some electrode-based identifiers or transducers and receivers which can identify the presence of the gas, which is already there. And long
Okay, sir.
back, like Humphrey Davy, like 100 years back only, detected Davy's lamp, which does the same thing. So now you must have a smart Humphrey Davy's lamp, which can identify the presence or absence of a gas by some redox changes in the atmosphere and by sensing the gas, which is very, very easy to do. And then you just need to deploy a transducer through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and so on, or
Yes,
even
sir.
5G, which will transduce the data to a third party, which will initiate a signal of some siren or something, so that all the miners becomes alert. And then they'll start putting their scuba. There should be some scuba, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Self-contained
Yes, sir.
respiratory device.
Yes,
So
sir.
scuba, from the beginning, if they put the scuba, so they'll have less chance to survive, because all the oxygen will be reduced. So whenever the gas is leaking, the toxic gas, and the third party person who is outside the mine, he senses the presence of the gas and then alerts the miners, then only they will deploy the scuba and start taking oxygen from their cylinders. So you want to optimize the whole process. Now, definitely you can optimize this whole process. That's a very good idea, and you can definitely work on it. That is entirely different from my project.
Actually,
Anyway,
sir,
but you can definitely go for it.
Actually, sir, actually, I am thinking that if the any thermal process, we have to use a thermal process. That means the sensor device, we have to use the sensor device. A person can be heating the body, but what is the process is very fast in the body. So that means we have to understand what is the sense of a body to work together. काम करते समय कुछ भी work. Sorry, I am speaking Hindi, but something you have to understand.
बोलिए सर, बोलिए.
वो काम करते ओके सर, काम जैसे कोई बंदा काम करता है, हमें क्या है कि हम अगर कोई थर्मल प्रोसेस को भी अप्लाई कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ एनी सेंसर डिवाइस, and we have to analyze the data from the any Python language, any MATLAB language, to variations from the what is the work, एक घंटे में वो कितना काम करता है और उसकी जो एनर्जी है उसकी लेवल को हम अगर काउंट करते जाए और प्रीवियस डेटा यानी कि उसकी पहले की डेटा को हम पहले से ऑलरेडी फीड कर रखें, वी हैव टू मैनेज दैट इज कंपैरिजन बिटवीन द, अब उससे ज्यादा करेगा तो इसकी ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ सकता है, इसका कुछ भी हो सकता है, तो मैं उसको इस तरह से आइडेंटिफाई कर दूं वो हमें ये पता चल जाए कि ये इतना देर तक ही काम कर सकता है, दैट मींस वी हैव टू सेव द माइनर्स ऑन द mines. That is the main thing. So what is the possibility you have to already given to me and mine, sir? But that is the main thing. So what is the as use as thermal process in your project, sir? That is the question.
हाँ हाँ, ठीक ठीक, बहुत बढ़िया. तो आप तो ऐसा भी कर सकते हो, लेकिन जैसे कि मतलब जो माइनर्स जो हैं उनका तो बॉडी टेम्परेचर काम ज्यादा करने से चेंज होगा, तो किसी को एक इंफ्रारेड गॉगल्स पहना दीजिए. ओके, इंफ्रारेड गॉगल्स पहना दीजिए, वो पता चल जाएगा किसके टेम्परेचर ज्यादा है. वो उसको पूछ लेगा कि जो माइनर ए यू आर नॉट वर्किंग प्रॉपर्ली, क्योंकि बॉडी से थर्मल रेडिएशन अच्छा नहीं आ रहा है, तो समझ में आ रहा है कि वो बंदा जो है काम ठीक से नहीं कर रहा है.
यस सर,
ठीक है, मतलब ऐसा कुछ तो आप कर ही सकते हैं जरूर. व्हाई नॉट? बट यू नीड नॉट टू गो टू अ मॉलिक्यूलर लेवल फॉर दैट. No, you need not to go to a molecular level for that, whether to detect the person is working at an optimum scale or not. you can do it by this thing, by looking only. हम भी अगर मतलब ऐसा होता है, देखिए आप घर में काम करा रहे हो तो आपको समझ में आ जाता है कि कौन बंदा ठीक से काम कर रहा है कौन नहीं। क्लास में आपको
Yes,
पता
sir.
चल जाता है कौन कौन बच्चा ठीक से पढ़ाई कर रहा है कि नहीं। Now this you can definitely do this, but it is not required to go to a molecular level that we are getting into. But if this is a life threatening condition, if you can say that वो माइनर के बॉडी पे क्या चेंजेस हो रहा है एक लॉन्ग टर्म बेसिस पे स्टडी करने के लिए, at that point of time we can deploy these interdisciplinary aspect, because these molecular tools are also very costly and not yet standardized yet. We are only working on the periphery, lot more many work to be done. It is still in the infancy and in the, what shall we say, is in the ideating phase. So it is not still complete for cardiac problems, जो एक मतलब immediate
Yes,
problem है,
yes, sir.
heart
Yes.
का जो problem है उसी पे हम अभी काम कर रहे हैं, we are not yet done it. So in order to save the persons in the mine, it will take next 50 years or so. Anyway, that's a great idea that you are having, and I congratulate you.
Sir,
And I really look forward
sir,
that you end up
one last,
some
sir,
solutions.
one last question. One last question. Can I
बोलिए
have?
बोलिए
Sir, actually,
Mhm.
I have taken some informations. Actually, your topic is very good for this session is very fantastic from my side. But our students like biological ground, biotechnology ground, and engineering ground, they have to working together from my side. So, which purpose I have to take in the topic? What you have to work for the research, work for the any project base. So, can you tell me what is the criteria from 1, 2, 3, 4, any criteria I have to take in the topic given the students, and they have to work as a project, as a research level, as any conference level. So can you tell me the 4 or 3 points?
Okay, great. Yes, sure.
Okay, sir.
I can also share my email ID to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, absolutely fine. I can also share my email ID to the coordinator madam, and coordinator madam can send it to you, where we
Viva
can have
madam.
a very
Okay.
good prolonged discussion.
Hmm.
I just give you one small idea what you can do. Since the miners are working in the mine in a oxygen compromised situation, you can
Okay.
start monitoring the SpO2 at a real time basis.
Okay.
I'm giving you a path breaking idea also,
Okay.
that if you can really identify the variation of SpO2, which will give you, which will come by 1500 1600 device. SpO2 मॉनिटर का जो अभी ऑक्सीजन कंसंट्रेशन मापने का जो
आया
डिवाइस
हुआ
आता
है।
है अभी पे लगाने
जी
के
जी
लिए।
जी।
हाँ, तो उससे आपका तो प्रोजेक्ट का कॉस्ट भी बहुत कम हो जाएगा। तो
Yes, sir.
आप ये जरूर देख सकते हैं कि SpO2 का लेवल जो है वो किस तरह से फ्लक्चुएट करता है माइनर्स पे। जब वो 1 घंटा काम करता है, आधा घंटा काम करता है, 1 घंटा काम करता है, एंड यू जनरेट ए वेरी गुड बैकग्राउंड डेटा, and then you can make a training set, and then you can deploy your artificial intelligence event to work on
Yes,
that
sir.
training set. Say there is a concept called support vector machine, which uses previous data as a background information and learn from that information, and it will also able to predict the what will be the SpO2 if a person with this many characters works in the mine for 10 hours, what will be the his final SpO2. That also you can predict, and if you can do it successfully, you can definitely have a very good impact factor paper in IEEE, any journal you can go for, and it would be a great observation for
Thank you,
starting
sir.
your project.
Thank you, sir. Send me your email
Yes,
ID.
yes.
Actually, I have to contact briefly, very serious about you, because you have to very benefit for
Yes,
the
yes,
session
why
and
not?
also benefit for my students. So that means we have to very thankful to
Thank you.
IoT. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
बहुत एकदम सही। मेरा ईमेल आईडी मैं जरूर दे दूंगा, मैडम के पास तो ऑलरेडी है।
Yeah, I'm having your email ID, and Shalin sir, just give me a message in WhatsApp. I'll be sharing
Okay.
the email ID
जरूर।
as well as
Yes,
the
ma'am.
phone number of sir to you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
हाँ, जरूर। ठीक।
Anyone else, if you want to discuss anything with sir? Any of the participant? Okay, sir. So I think none of the other participants are having any query now. So we can end this session.
Okay.
And at last, I want to thank you
Yeah.
for very informative session, and you have explained very difficult medical concepts through excellent video representation. Like many of the things I may not be able to understand if whether if I'm going to see those videos also, but you have explained it very beautifully and now I can see, right, technology can enter into the medical field, and with the IoT we can do many things there also, right? So again, I want to
Yes,
thank
yes,
you
absolutely.
for sharing your experience as well as
Thank you, madam.
yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, dear participants, our next session is scheduled at 12 o'clock. So we will meet at 12, and I request all of you to please join 5 minutes prior to the session. Right?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. And Challen, sir, you have to send me a WhatsApp message. There I'll be sending you the.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, this
Yes, okay. Good afternoon, everyone present in this meeting. Now we are going to start our lecture 2 of this session, which is based on IoT and renewable energy optimization. For this, I would like to invite Dr. Ashok G. Mathani, sir. Dr. Mathani is Professor Mechanical Engineering Department, Government College of Engineering, Jalgaon, Maharashtra. He has done his PhD in Mechanical Engineering and MBA in Marketing. He is having experience of 33 years in academic, research, administrative, and industries. He presented more than 114 number of research technical papers in seminar conferences organized in IITs, IIMs, NITs, and published more than 26 papers in Scopus Index journals. His citation is 487, H index is 14, and I-10 index is 22. Under his guidance, three PhD scholars awarded PhD degree from St. Gadgir Baba Amravati University. One PhD scholar research is in progress. He organized 11 FDPs and STTPs sponsored by AICTE, ISTE under TechU. One patent awarded by Government of Australia. 5 patents have been accepted for publication on Indian Patent Office Mumbai website. He is reviewer and editorial board member of Scopus Index Journal. He has delivered 40 keynote invited lectures in various conferences, seminar organized in IITs, NITs, Institute of National Importance. He delivered more than 90 expert lecture in various STTPs, FDPs sponsored by AICTE, ISTE, TechCube, Government of Maharashtra, Government of India schemes. 9 paper awarded as Best Paper Conference, seminar organized in IITs, NITs, Institute of National Importance. So I would like to invite sir to deliver his lecture. Welcome, sir.
Welcome,
Okay,
sir.
thanks for kind introduction.
Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure.
Yes. I am able to see you, but because of some technical issues from my laptop, probably you are not able to see me, but you are able to at least hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, my topic for discussion here is Internet of Things applications in renewable energy optimization. Now, here we are finding that renewable energy, it is including sun, solar, wind, geothermal, small hydro, and green fuels, just like now new developments are going on in which hydrogen is now used as vehicle, means fuel in for road transport vehicles, the cars and scooters. Even electrical vehicles are now coming in India. Even tidal power and even wind, offshore wind, thermal wind energy or geothermal.
Sir, sorry to disturb you, but your PPT is not visible.
Now this renewable energy which we consider nowadays, this is solar energy, wind energy, then tidal, then geothermal. All these are now becoming, and now this is gaining momentum throughout the world, considering this carbon footprint and environmental degradation. Since all country heads, they are now thinking to introduce some renewable energy, and The main advantage of renewable energy is the fuel which is easily and freely available in environment. Hence, this is gaining momentum, and this has become the energy source in the fields of electricity, air and water heating, cooling, transportation, and rural off-grid grid services. Now, in 2015, more than $286 billion was invested in renewable energy in wind, hydro, solar, and biofuels. Now, in this, the renewable energy contributed to 23.7%. And now, by 2025, means within 3 years, majority of the world power capacity will be nearly 50% will be renewable energy. Now, with the development of human industrialization and demand of all electronic intelligent products in our life, electric energy has become one of the essential resources for human being. Now, as a new field in power system, the smart grid provides more possibilities for power system monitoring, operation, and optimization. Nowadays, smart grids are also gaining momentum because these are means saving and are means less wastage of power is there, and moreover, it is means customer friendly and operation friendly. This we will be seeing advantages of these smart grids also one by one in different slides. Now, in order to make the full use of renewable energy, various smart Internet of Things are deployed in smart environments such as smart cities, smart healthcare, and smart grids. Hence, to deal with the problem of energy supply, it is key problem that affects the development of smart grids. This function of intelligent electric energy meter is two-way metering function under two-way interactive power supply mode. This smart terminal is the key equipment, and in addition to this, following services can be supported by smart environment, that is smart home. Now, what is a smart home? What we call that? When we call anybody is smart, not only physical is a face or her face is a smart, it is not that thing, means whatever personality aspects are there, if that person is fulfilling or possessing, then only we called him smart person. The same is with the homes also. What we know about smart home, it is kind of system which is designed to control equipment in home. Just like we are seeing audio, refrigerator, electric cooker, air conditioner, sweeping robots, and other household equipment which are remotely controlled through network connections. Now we are seeing that one of the advertisement of air conditioner in which one executive, when he is leaving his office, on his mobile, he is giving some commands so that air condition gets on, and by the time he reaches his home, the room gets cooled and automatically this air conditioner is off. This is just like example of one smart house or smart home. This smart grid provides energy supply for devices in the smart home. Then smart cities, nowadays Government of India is having ambitious project of smart cities in which almost minimum 2 to 3 cities in every state have been selected, identified as the smart cities, in which all infrastructure facilities at par with world level developed countries parity are provided to these cities, and huge financial grants and all technical developments are going on in these cities, so that whenever any foreigner or any executives are visiting in that cities, they will get comfortable and they know at least they are at par of their home country. Hence, these smart cities are now coming, in which all majority of these equipments or the services are provided without any interruption in that. No any compromise on services is there, in which these smart cities, then technologies and energy from all aspects, especially the energy from smart grid, is integrated to support the smart cities. Now, vehicle to grid network is also there. It is the relationship between electrical vehicles and power grids. Then intelligent transportation systems. These are just like we are finding nowadays, even this on express highways, these sensors are fitted, cameras are fitted on that, and those who are violating the norms of these traffic norms, or a 6-way express highway is there, and anybody is violating that traffic norms, and automatically he gets challan in his mobile. And if 2 or 3 times he is repeatedly doing this activity, then his license is seized. This is just like the example of this intelligent transportation system, in which all these fundamentals, even nowadays, pollution and exhaust is monitored by sensors, and all this is recorded in computers, and accordingly that vehicles are means out of the roads. If these are spewing the more HC and NOx and air pollution. This energy and cost efficiencies are ultimately important for a smart environment, which needs precise control and provide services for devices in various scenarios. Now, this energy and cost efficiency are ultimately important in that. Now, the wide area protection and control, that is WAPEC, and wide area monitoring system, WAMS, are two advanced concepts in smart grid. And in that, this phasor measurement unit, PMU, is an important component for WAP, and which can be deployed in smart grid to monitor various parameters of the smart grids. Now, in order to obtain the accurate and real-time measurements, WAMS not only employs sensors nodes in the smart, but also uses global positioning system, GPS system is they are using. And in addition to the above structural and physical technologies, the ICT plays an essential role in the smart grids. Now, energy forecasting, state monitoring and estimation, anomaly detection, data mining, and means just like computer and IT person, they are using this data mining or big data analytics. The same data is here utilized. Big data analytics is playing major role in renewable energy systems nowadays. This data mining and visualization are among the IoT applications in smart energy systems. Even cloud computing, edge computing, and quantum computing are provided using IoT in data transmission networks. This emergence of IoT things, IoT applications, and smart power meters and smart electrical appliances is affording consumers of electricity and ability to closely monitor energy consumed and have an option to determine their consumption. Because up till now, some of the consumers, they might be facing the power pilferage from their meter or typing of unauthorized means connection from their power, from their energy bill. These are some of the cases in which energy theft is happening in some cases, and hence with the help of these IoT things, we are easily controlling that. Nowadays, means majority of the state electricity boards, they are providing these services when we are getting the bills nowadays. Since last 2 years, they are after this COVID-19, so majority of these electric readings of our electric meter, they have been online, in which we are means up till now we were supposed to provide or give one picture, one photo of our energy meter, and one energy app is there, in which we have to upload our that photo and just type that today present reading is of that our energy meter. And within 3 days, one message is coming, your consumption for this month is number of units. And after, if any doubt or any complaint is there, or if any amount is there, you just put one remarks there, this is the wrong reading. In case if it is wrong, means posted, then we will get to revise that reading. And after that, we get that meter tariff, energy tariff on our mobile or our whatever email we have provided, and we have to pay that. Up till now, online payments have been done. Now, in a majority of the state electricity boards, they are now means providing us. Of course, this some technical manpower are coming for taking the readings. Beyond that, they are sending one message. In Maharashtra, or at least in Amravati, where I am residing, in which up to 5th of every month, we have to upload this reading of our meter. And the highlighting of this concept is that this data which energy bill is coming every month, in which 12 months data is provided on the front page of that meter bill which we are getting, in which we can see in last year in particular month what number of units I have consumed and how it is immediately means more. If there is any significant variation in means utilization pattern, then we can confirm that whether this was any energy tariff was there or any wrong means reading is posted or any typing mistake by these entry persons, data entry persons is happened. So we can cross check that. Means in this they are providing that comparison of last year's through 12 months data on our energy bill front page. We can cross check in particular month how many number of units we have consumed and where it can be saved, because this energy tariff is changing. This tariff is changing according to the number of units there, that slabs are there, in which 0 to 100 units is the minimum charge 3.68 paisa, and after 101 to 300 units it is 4.68. And after 301 to 500, this is 5.70, 5 rupees 70 paisa, and after that it is 8 rupees for residential. And there are different consumption patterns. If you are a businessman or any charity institutions are there, educational institutions or industry, that breaks upon the consumer. Accordingly, this charging is means tariff is provided to that. Means this IoT are providing one good thing to energy users, in which we can save our power if it is means wasted, or where the power is not needed. We can utilize that concept, and we can means indirectly you provided energy conservation approach here. Just because of this, now digital meters are provided in our devices. So this is also one of the new developments in which means unnecessary wastage of power, which are unnecessary usage of power, is now controlled. Now, this emergence of IoT and smart power meters and smart electric appliances is providing consumers to close monitor consumption and have option to determine their consumption. Means they can cross check and even they can reduce that. So this is possible due to connection of sensors in the appliances. Now, this is the case where majority of the countries are now leaning towards sustainable electricity, and by next 3 years, the renewable energy is expected to reach $2.15 trillion US. Its potential is so strong. Means at present, it is having 25.3% compounded average growth of renewable energy, means wind and solar both. So this previously it was 16.7, now it is 25.3%, means nearly 9% rise is there in last 3 years in solar and wind power, particularly in both sectors. So now this total 23% of green power has established the significance of renewable energy for the industry, and marked energy providers and consumers are drifting away from limited and unsustainable resources. Even this is the case where California wind and power plants, they are generating surplus energy during summer months, followed by low performing fall and winter seasons. By utilizing these IoT applications, and according to that, this energy supply is monitored. And in case there is a need of any load shedding, just like in India, we are having the problem of load shedding. To same means we can means even load shedding is now planned with the help of these IoT applications. Now, what is the smart grid and how it benefits the renewable energy? As per the Electric Power Research Institute, this smart grid is one that incorporates ICT into every aspect of electricity generation, delivery, and consumption in order to minimize the environmental impact, enhance markets, improve reliability and service, and reduce cost and improve the efficiency. Because with the help of these drones, even the Maharashtra State Electricity Transmission Company, they are governing these extra high voltage power transmission lines in remote areas in Melghat and Gadchiroli. Now, Gadchiroli is the Naxalite prone area where the reading are the providing these services to the tribal people is somewhat challenging as per electricity authorities. Hence, with the help of these drones, this is possible. In Melghat, this is a hilly area in Amaravati district. Hence, with the help of these drones, MSEB is now controlling and the governing of this extra high voltage power transmission line. Because in case of any wear and tear of these cables are there, or any failure of the lines are there, then immediately this is rectified. Now, this smart grid allows for seamless integration of inclusive renewable energy and has the ability to distribute and deliver the power high efficiently. Now here, this smart energy consumer collaborative survey, it has confirmed that end users have to shift a smart grid, as 60% showed interest in program that helps save money by using home appliances, different types of the day. Means now by using this smart home appliances, electricity appliances, the nearly 60% have confirmed that with the help of using this smart home and smart grid, they have save money by minimizing this power consumption. So this is one sketch. It is not that much clear, but again, in different pictures are there. In that, I will discuss there. Now, managing sustainable energy with the smart grid and Internet of Things. Now, solar and wind power require advanced control techniques for high performance and reliable operation. Because here we are seeing that in solar power, solar panels, if any foreign material is there or any dust or dirt or moisture contents are there, then it is affecting the efficiency of the solar power generation, because the solar power efficiency at present it is only 29%. And beyond that, if any dust or dirt or any moisture or any foreign material is lying on these panels, then it is again reduced to some extent. Hence, so this is hindering the efficiency, and with the help of these smart drones, so these now drones are used in which these 3D pictures are taken, and after this 3D mapping, and accordingly decision is taken. If any foreign material is or moisture is there, then dry air is flown on that surfaces and it is clean, just like as it is kept as a dry. Because in India we are having nearly 300 days solar power, solar sun rays available, except for 2 months when monsoon is there and cloudy season is there. Remaining 300 days out of 365, so we are utilizing this, and we can provide that solar power, because solar power is means cost of only infrastructure is required. No any operation cost is there except the salary of the persons, and because fuel cost is zero here. Sun rays are easily available. Thus, we require that open the farm so that sunlight is coming majority of the times. Now, adopting smart grid devices can contribute to extensive IT infrastructure. Then smart home energy management is there, in which intelligent home energy management utilize the capabilities of the connected devices and allows consumers and energy providers to control their consumption jointly. This one model is there, that is hybridized intelligent home renewable energy model. This depicts the role of smart devices in distributing energy consumption around the most advantageous periods of the day. Of course, in India, we are not having that much tariff of the time of the tariff concept in India, but in US, in other advanced countries, this power, just like we are having in railways and flights in India, in which dynamic fare is there in Rajdhani and Duronto trains. Means as per availability of the tickets or not availability tickets, then its tariff or its charges are varying. Hence, same also in flight tickets, aeroplane tickets, in which if a very less number of tickets are there, then more means airfare we have to pay. The same here is in America and other developed countries, where time of the day is utilized, in which if it is peak hours time, then we are consuming more power, then we have to pay more charges for that. But India, we are having a total throughout day charges. Time of the tariff is not in India, but in America and other developed countries, this concept is also there, and hence this has been means beneficial to the developed countries, in which according to the research, scheduling energy can minimize use by 48% and maximize the consumption renewable energy by up to 65%. Means here we can utilize more at the peak hours times, this renewable energy, so that it will be consumed, means beneficial to tariff for customers. This there is one company, the German company Shine, that is this German energy provider Shine offers its consumers an advanced cooperation model which enables a high level of independence for energy user. These Shine customers can easily manage the home energy system to optimize their use of solar energy and monitor daily consumption. Users are also able to connect with others to share the green energy. Means here, if we are utilizing throughout day, just like we are utilizing our this 4G and 5G mobile, in which if I am utilizing more data, then I am getting alert from my Airtel service provider, in which I have consumed this 50% or 90% data in this time. So same consumption messages are coming by this model, this German energy provider Shine, and it is providing if it is exceeding the limit, or if whatever consumption is there throughout day, so this is giving alerts. to mobile users, in which we have utilized more power, and hence we can check if nobody is there and lights are go on, means the lights are on, or fan and AC is on and nobody is there, then we can check that. This is the new concept coming in that smart meters. Now, this data gathered in grid requires thorough analysis to provide utility companies with the necessary information to drive their business forward. Now, this with the help of this even 5G adoption, big data is imperative for the in-depth understanding of consumer behavior, performance capabilities, and improving the performance. Because it is also big data analytics in which huge data is collected, and according to that, consumption pattern is checked. In particular locality, suppose any luxury or this costly area is there, or civil lines are there, in which more majority of this luxurious people are residing, and majority of this time this air conditioners are on, or other electric appliances are on, and according to that consumption pattern, so this with the help of this big data analytics, it is helping to means plan this power supply in case there is any emergency in that. So that of course the power way to supply to civil areas, or if it is in hospital, or if majority of the VIPs are residing in particular area, then we to supply this power throughout day. We cannot compromise the RC. Now consider about this corona hospitals or corona isolation wards, where so we have to provide this power 24 hours. No compromise is there. Hence, with the help of this data analytics, energy providers can improve grid optimization and increase the customer engagements. So this is the example of big data analytic procedure in smart grids, in which the data acquisition is there, data preparation is there, then big data analytics, decision making, and practical action is there. So this is the one sketch. Now this in this YouTube, if time permits, we check that, or we run this YouTube, in which we can see that how it is working. Smart energy meters are working, because still my slide is 35th. I am having 135th. Still 100 slides are going on. I will check if time permits, then I will run this. Otherwise, I am sharing this with your coordinators, and they will share with you these PPTs, and you can check at your convenient time how this is happening in smart grids are helping in that. Now there is one solar investor, Heliostats. This is utilizing and risk management platforms that is providing data integration and analytics. With the help of this, GPS data is used to improve the forecasting of renewable energy power generation. Now, there are different key issues for artificial intelligence-based energy efficient networks, AI network, in which this increasing scale and high dynamic topology of smart IoT devices require energy efficient and intelligent management. Of course, for this, some softwares are required, specialized equipments are required, skilled persons are required for that. Now, this AI, artificial intelligence technology is required. This is due to mismatch between grid load and supply of the renewable energy. Many researchers have been devoted to improvement of energy utilization. By using these IoT applications, AI, artificial intelligence, so we can utilize this. Now, this intelligent automation of electrical distributed networks has driven the future power system development, which will bring change in both network design and network operation. In this, some challenges are also there, in which computation overhead and storage overheads are required. Then introduction of AI technology will lead to greater computing overhead, because of course this infrastructure will be required, manpower will be required. So this is additional cost, and in that we are utilizing this cloud computing and cloud storage concept there. Then reliability. It is required to provide service at any time. Means supply of renewable energy is continuous and fluctuates. At present it is there, but reliability is there, in which we can make that so that it will be throughout day, it will be available. Then quality of service. Of course, in India, we are not having that much concept at present, quality of service, but in America and other developed countries, this is there, in which quality of life, quality of service is compulsory. And in case, if there is any variation in the frequency or voltage parameters, we are having 230 volts and 15 ampere power in residential. If you require more power, then we have to install that 3-phase in our home or where buildings are there or air conditioners are running, and we have to provide that. Hence, in case if any problem of regarding frequency or any variation in voltage or ampere is there, and probably some of the home appliances get damaged. These are the cases in majority of the states in which these parameters, if they are not followed, then either TV, either fridge, either computer, laptop, these are just like burned or fused. They are not working because the variation in frequency or changes in means voltage and ampere. Hence, quality of service is considered as the design of AI-based energy management scheme. And in case there is any variation in frequency or change in variation in voltage or amperes, then it is giving alerts. The same situation happened in Pakistan 4 months back when frequency dipped to less than 48.5. Because in India we are having 50 hertz frequency, whereas in America it is 60 hertz frequency. And in Pakistan, it is 50 hertz. And at that time, 4 months back, nearly 50% of the country was in the dark. Because the engineers of that particular service provider of electricity, so they have not been able to control the variation, and they have not isolated the power supply to remaining areas. Hence, cascading effect happened, and in that frequency was disturbed, and after below 48.5, the system collapsed. Nearly 50% of the Pakistan country was in dark for 24 hours. Whereas in India, this has happened, but our engineers, at least in Maharashtra, so they have been successful in controlling this and isolating this by providing isolators in some areas, and hence the frequency was controlled. And within minutes, that system restored, and it was not in dark. But in 7 to 8 years back, this has happened in India also, in which this we are having 10 electricity networks or regions throughout India, in which central grid was disturbed 8 to 9 years back. And at that time, majority of the central India was in dark for some hours. But since I know they have been successful in controlling the national grid, because this grid is national grid, and all if any regions frequency is disturbed, then it is disturbed throughout India, this national grid. Hence, cascading effect happens there. Hence, isolation is the only criteria where we can save this tripping of the whole system. So this is possible with the help of this AI-based energy management scheme. That is also coming under quality of services. Then security, this is also one of the challenge nowadays. America and Russia, they are facing the cyber attacks on their renewable energy systems. Even in Mumbai, when October 20, last about 1 year, in which majority of the New Bombay and Mumbai area were in dark for 6 hours, and at that time this was also critics were there. This can be due to the cyber attack by Chinese experts, because the infrastructure in the electricity systems or hardware is of Chinese companies. Hence, the Chinese have been successful. This was critic, and but after some time, when IIT Mumbai experts they were assigned this task to check what were the reason for failure of this in Mumbai and New Mumbai area, and they have come to conclusion that this was the human error effect, means human error it was there. But these cyber attacks, these are common in America and Russia. Both countries, they are facing this threat from cyber attacks on renewable systems. So this is also causing one new challenge for the security aspect is there. So in which this development of IT, so this is means providing this means remedy to this from attackers, cyber attacks. So in order to ensure the normal running of IoT system, the security mechanism needs to be added to energy management of smart IoT devices. Now, use of IoT in renewable energy generation. This smart, reliable, and efficient power supply helps in smooth functioning of smart cities The use of IoT in renewable energy production help to meet the energy demands of these cities efficiently. Because now these applications of IoT in renewable energy involves sensors that are attached to generation, transmission, and distribution equipment. Because now take example of wind energy, in which these sensors are drones, they are used, and according to that profile, 3D mapping is checked, and no any minor cracks or even hair cracks are also permitted, because this is huge structure, and this the profile of this wind turbine blade is such huge that a helicopter can land on that. This is these blades are of so huge dimension, and if any minor crack develops on that, then it is risky. It is fatal for that, because people, those who are working, even though these wind turbines, these, of course, these are isolated areas in hilly areas, and so no common traffic is there, but the life of the operating person, engineers and technicians, those who are working on that system, at least this is also to be taken care of. Hence, so this is helping in that, in which are moreover, if any hair cracks are developed on that profile of that, then these are immediately rectified. I have seen one news reports in Discovery Science channel 4 years back, in which one of the Boeing plane, this was crashed because one of the riveted joint was crashed, means collapsed. Means this riveted joint was joint failure was there. And just this one riveted joint failure caused the crashing of Boeing 737, and nearly 152 pilots plus passengers and crew members were died. This is the result of one single riveted joint failure. Hence, no any hair cracks or minor cracks are permitted on these wind turbine blades, because these are so risky, and because hence this structural audit, structural analysis is done of this, and accordingly remedial measures are immediately taken. So this is helping IoT or helping in renewable energy and wind power generation. This leads to reduced operational cost and lowers dependence on the conventional thermal power plants. This implementation of IoT will help utilize these clean energy sources to further extent. Here, these are some of the benefits of IoT in renewable energy solutions. First one is the automation, in which energy efficiency proves to be major hurdle in harnessing renewable energy. Of course, I told you solar energy efficiency is only 29 to 30%, whereas other thermal power plants we are having nearly 70 to 75% efficiency. Means nearly half of thermal power plants, even less than half, it is a solar power efficiency is there. But if we are using this, it is increasing this energy efficiency. These smart IoT solutions enable the implementation of automated controls to improve efficiency with these methods of energy production. With the help of these controls or sensors, energy from renewable sources is harnessed with maximum efficiency, because one condition is that these solar panels, face of that solar panels, it should be clean and dry. That is the main condition. No any fuel cost is involved there, but just we have to check that these face of this the surface of this wind the solar panels, these are clean, because major then only radiation is possible. So this is the main condition. Any foreign material or any minute dust or dirt is there, it is easily located in 3D mapping, and immediately this either showers, either air is blown on that, or manually it is cleaned, so that it is when sun is shining, just like today at present sun is quite shining, so it will be giving at least full power. So here this is the case of wind energy, in which the direction of wind turbine can be altered for gaining maximum efficiency by analyzing the data generated by IoT sensors. Because here these IoT sensors, they are providing that data. Now this for wind energy, this wind speed is minimum wind speed will be 6 to 9 miles per hour. Then only it will be working. And in case there is more turbulent air, say take example of this air wind turbulent air, when at least in India during August, July and August, when majority of the means monsoon time is at its peak, and we are finding wind is so much turbulent. Wind speed is turbulent, and we cannot say estimate even some the hoardings and some buildings and some these floors of some these tin sheds. These are means uh, fallen away by wind or more wind turbulent air. Hence, this is also causing one challenge in wind turbine generation. Hence, sensors by means assessing this wind speed, these sensors they lock, mechanical brakes are there in which they lock the system, and hence this is protected wind power. And particularly in this offshore wind power, this is applicable there. Then second is cost efficiency. This Internet of Things provide excellent tools for monitoring power consumption, just like we have seen that. Key in at least in Maharashtra, I am reading that data in which up to 100 units, that is 3.67 minimum charges, and 1012 to 300 units per month. So this is going to 4.63, and after 301 to 600, so this is 5.75, and after that it is 8 rupees. That is for residential purpose. And there are different consumption patterns and classes of the users that that data table is available there. So this is providing inputs so that we can save our or we can we utilize that energy conservation in our homes also, or in our areas also, in working areas or in companies. Now, these power distribution companies can determine and analyze users' power consumption by using this IoT generated, just like these big data analytics, they are using that. And accordingly, they are planning these production targets, generation targets. Considering that nowadays we are in India, we are feeling now at present some cooling conditions are there. Actually, in this year we are feeling some more cool or more winter. Up till now, after Diwali, we are facing less winter, or at least after 14 January, after Sankrant, Makar Sankrant or Pongal throughout India. Comparatively, means cooling temperature in majority of the areas is comparatively higher, but at that time now the temperature is somewhat lower, and hence more power consumption is used in residence, because some heaters are used, or some other heat cooling or environments, or some geysers are used, and we are warm. Majority of the users, consumers, they are using this warm water for bath and other purposes. So hence more power is utilized nowadays. So this is helping these power companies to utilize these patterns. Then this is the SCANSA USA office in the Empire State Building, which was the one of the early adopters of IoT solutions for in its premises. So this has reduced spending on electricity by 57% and savings of nearly $680,000 for office lease period of 15 years. So they have saved that. Means 57% they have reduced with the help of these IoT applications. So this SCANSA USA office, it is in Empire State Building in USA. So they have been utilizing after that, and 57% savings have been possible in that. Now, grid management. This integration of IoT technology enables not only the inclusion of more systems into grid, but also improves overall grid management. This by placing sensors at substations and along the distribution lines, companies can gather real-time power consumption data, because this is also one of the challenge, at least in Delhi and Mumbai. This is the challenge in slum areas, where Dharavi is in Mumbai, it is slum area, and in some parts in Delhi, this pilferage from slum areas is there, and this was the challenge for Delhi government to how to control that, and they have utilized these now drones, in which drones, they take the pictures of these lines, and if anybody is means unauthorized typing, what we call typing of meter, means this is a power pilferage, what we call energy pilferage. That's in electricity terms, or this technical term, they are calling it typing. Means it is unauthorized connection from meter to residence bill. Means this energy theft, it is now somewhat controlled, and nearly 4 to 5% it has been protected or saved. because energy losses in India, we are having nearly 30 to 32% total losses, and in which pilferage is also 10 to 12%. And technical GN or T&D losses and other losses are there, but nearly 10% pilferage is there. And with the help of the sensors now, to this have been successful. Delhi government and electricity in Mumbai, Dharavi, so MSEB have been successful in controlling up to 6%. Means nearly 4 to 5%. They have saved that power. Means energy pilferage was there. And in Maharashtra, yes, everything is okay, madam. Voice is okay. Yes, my voice is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. And 1 minute. Actually, in India now, energy theft is one new clause is coming in which no bail will be granted to the persons, those who are involved in energy theft or energy pilferage. So this is new concept in India where this government and regulatory authorities, they have come to that conclusion ki if people are using and typing this power, then they have made that law in which if anybody is involved in that and trapped in that, then that person is behind the bar and no any bail will be granted to these persons. So this is the new concept there. And these sensors located on the grid can also help alert the operators about outages in real time in case there are any outages are forced or a breakdown means breakdown is there or breakdown maintenance or preventive maintenance. This is utilizing these sensors are used in that. Then availability of real-time data allows workers to turn off power to damaged lines quickly in case there are any failures, or suppose these power lines are going through the remote places, remote areas, hilly areas. So with the help of these drones and sensors, these are immediately trapped and these messages are given. Of course, these power engineers, they are having some apps, just like we are having our apps in our mobile key in which we can pay our trains we are having. That's where is my train. Then we can book that train ticket and pay the charges or any water supply bill, electricity supply bill, train tickets, flight tickets. We are booking online with the help of these apps. Same apps are provided to these power engineers, and in which in case there is any failure or any such situation happens, then alerts are received by these operators or engineers and immediately power is turned off so that no any casualty or any future consequences are violating there. So this prevents possible electrocution cases. Wildfires are another hazards because it is also one of the reason wildfires are also happening in some of the areas because of this power means extra voltage high tension lines. If these are failed or teared or and power is going on, and in that cases wildfire happens. These have been cases there. This is protected with the help of this. This IoT even allows for some of these decisions to become automated. This system provides more efficient than human dependent one. And in case of any outage, smart switches can isolate the problem immediately, automatically. Just if sensors get, just like we are having smoke sensors in offices and theaters nowadays. In case if any smoke is there, then sensors give signals and all system gets alert. To same in that, if any problems happen, then smart switches are provided and these get isolated and these are switched off. These IoT devices can reroute the power to get the lights back on quickly. This is also saving precious time of human resources. In power usage data is also serving as the basis for load forecasting because in India we are having, at least in Maharashtra, and this is the first time in which surplus power is generated at present in Maharashtra at least. Up till now, the power was always in short and electricity authorities, MSEB, they have to put load shedding concept. And for that, we are paying, in Maharashtra, we are having 10 revenue regional headquarters, or just we call commissioner office, revenue commissioner office. in which power supply companies, MSEB, they are providing this power to these 10 regional revenue headquarters areas at charging 32 paisa as the reliability charge per unit. This, when I am residing in my area, Amravati, it is revenue regional head office. These are such that these 10 revenue headquarters are there in Maharashtra. In all these residents, we are paying that 32 paisa as the reliability charge per unit to MSEB. And we are providing this 24 hours power supply. So these IoT applications, they are using this for load forecasting. Because this data is provided to Maharashtra, 2 load dispatch centers are there, in which one is at Kalwa, it is in Thane, Mumbai, another is at Ambajari, it is in Nagpur. So both of these load dispatch centers, they are taking in tuning with that, and according to that, load shedding schedules are finalized. And take example in case of now COVID situation in which hospitals are COVID, wards are there, COVID care centers are there, hospitals are there. To these way to provide this power 24 hours to these centers, COVID centers, COVID care centers. So hence, load setting and load forecasting is means planned with the help of these IoT applications. This IoT helps in managing overloads along transmission lines in case there is more load, just like I have told you. In Pakistan, this has happened because of that overload on that, and frequency dips to less than 48.5 hertz, and this whole system was tripped. So this is providing that alerts in case of overloads are there, and accordingly isolators are provided, and hence at least even though some areas are in dark, but majority of at least national grid is not disturbed in that way. Because if national grid is disturbed, then this is happening in cascading effect and whole system is tripped. So this is the, and if any system is tripped, then coming to synchronization, it is very difficult for power supply authorities. Hence, every engineer or every company tries to not to be this means tripping of that system. If it is tripped, then synchronization is very challenging task for them. It takes hours because to maintain that each and every parameter, it is somewhat difficult once the system is tripped. Hence, majority of these power stations, they have provided that sensors, and if any of the parameter is varying, immediately alerts are provided, alerts are received, and accordingly decisions are taken immediately. Instead of wasting that force breakdown, preventive measures are taken by power supply authorities, and system is at least restored or protected in that way. This has to that our generation plants meet the requirements related to frequency and voltage control. This is the challenging task in case some variation or any load and sudden load is increased in particular area. These power consumption data also help companies to decide whether to build new infrastructure or to make upgrade on existing ones. Even UK has been one of the early adopters of smart grid technology, and with its low carbon network fund and electricity network innovation competition projects, the governments have adopted smart grid and smart metering solutions. This system provides observable, automated, and controllable electricity network. The distribution system or distributed system, in which this smart energy grid is expanding due to rise in commercial and residential use. This increasingly scattered power system represents major change for energy companies. The use of this IoT helps monitor these vastly distributed smart grids easily. Sensors are placed at multiple points, which helps in monitoring of large number of points in production and transmission stages. This access to multiple points, of course, was not possible with the help of old conventional methods, but with the help of these now smart grids and IoT applications, this is possible. With increased control and huge chunk of data, this grid is now managed effectively. And these IoT sensors, they are changing or reacting to these changes autonomously. If any variations are there, then these sensors act and give alerts on that accordingly. And this means off and on system is provided there. Now then residential solutions. Yes. Yes, any doubt or any suggestions? Or my speed is more? Should I go by slow? Participants?
It's okay, sir. The same speed is okay.
Okay. Because I am seeing your participants chats also, in case they are having any problems or any suggestions submitted, you can satisfy them also. Yes. Now, with the help of this IT, in residential areas, these residential customers, they are connecting their solar panels, rainwater harvesting, smart cool point windows in one
So
system.
yeah, sir. Yes. Sir, they are having class is having some sheets, sir. Saying its details of something. Actually, interesting and showing this. Ah. No. Ah.
Yes, should I continue or any discussions are is required?
Yes, sir, you can continue. Some
Okay.
participants
Yes, sir.
have unmuted there.
Okay.
We have mute them.
Okay. Now, these IoT devices, such as thermostats, they automatically optimize their operations according to surrounding to reduce the energy use. Even residents, customers in US, they have represented 37% of the energy use. Yes, 37% are of residents use in US. So this incorporation of IoT in renewable system provides substantial opportunities for companies as well as general consumers also. Now, there are some challenges faced in implementation of IoT in renewable energy. Of course, when new concepts are introduced or technology introduced, some resistance is there, some challenges are there. So here are some of the challenges which are there, and we can means reduce that or minimize that. The main hurdle is initial investment cost. Of course, the technology involved, hence cost of the equipment is more, and skilled manpower is also required, hence, and less number of skilled manpower are less available. Hence, this is the one of the challenge for this power supply companies. And another challenge is the new concept that is coming, which I have discussed in last minutes, in which US and Russia, they are feeling these cyber attacks. This is also one of the challenge of these cyber attackers, in which these energy supply companies, they are facing these challenges. IoT, they are vulnerable to hacking. Anybody can hack, just like hijack. They can hack and they can disturb that. This is one of the cyber attack change, means risk of cyber attack is there. So this can lead to hazardous and unfavorable conditions to utility companies as well as residents. For that, we have to provide that secure system that will be adopted to thwart any potential attack on the grid. And these renewable energy sources are the future of energy, in which this is 43%. According to this International Energy Agency, this renewable energy are expected to gain another 43% by 22. It means just like if we want to entered in this year 2022, so by the end of this will be 43%. At present, we are having 23, means nearly 20% rise is expected in 1 year. Many private players and governments are already investing in small cities around the world, and smart energy solutions with these cities are coming. Even this US, China, and India are the leading markets in the implementation of renewable energy power generation practices. These markets provide huge business potential opportunities for companies, and implementation of IoT in renewable energy plays an important role for this clean energy source. So these are some of these websites where we can utilize and see that how these IoT applications are used in renewable energy generation. These are these websites. So we can, if time permits, we can go and visit them. During leisure time, you can have, I am providing this coordinators and they will be sharing these slides with you so that whenever you are having leisure time, you can use this. Then this is the Vestas. This is one company and it is providing that it is the leader in wind power. To this helping this company Vestas is helping the customers in wind turbines with the help of deploying this Lenovo Next Scale Systems MS cluster to support game-changing big data analytics. This company analyzes streaming data over 35,000 turbines around the world. This is the market leader in wind energy, wind turbines, Vestas. So this is providing its services for improving manufacturing, assembly, maintenance, and customer services. So this company is having 35,000 turbines throughout the world. So these are the YouTube and other websites where we can see that. Now here it is there. In which these Vestas harness the power of the wind with big data analytics running on Lenovo supercomputers. Now this 5G linked with IoT also cut energy use because devices will be able to power up and shut down automatically when not needed. Now sensors are coming in that way. Even we have seen at least 4 to 5 IITs I have visited when offline conferences were there 2 years back, and even in my college, in Government Engineering College, Jalgaon, we are utilizing these sensors, at least in this passage. When any person is visiting, then sensors are fit in that, in which tube lights got off, and when any person enters that premises, these sensors get in action and lights are on. Even in water taps also. In majority of these hospitals and in metros, water taps are that, sensors are fit in that taps, in which if we put our hand in front of these water taps, water is coming. If we keep away our hands from that water tap, these sensors get action and this power is, means water supply is off. So these sensors are used in appliances, transportation network, buildings, factories, street lights, even whenever these sensors are fit in that, when there is a night, so these sensors get activated and the tube lights or street light gets on, and when daylight is coming or when sunshine is there, then these sensors get action and these street lights are getting off. So these are there. Or even in traffic system also, transportation networks also, these signals, traffic signals are also means utilizing that way. Even residences and more monitor and analyze their energy use and consumption in real time and automatically optimize the energy use. These smart energy meters installed in Empire State Building have helped and cut energy by 38%. And GE's digital, this is General Electric's digital power plant for steam in France, equipped with 10,000 sensors to improve plant efficiency and got the Guinness World Record for world's most energy efficient power plant. So this GE digital power plant for steam in France, this is having 10,000 sensors in their power plant, and they got the world record, Guinness World Record for the world's most energy efficient power plant. So this is possible there. Just because now those who are from electronics side, they are knowing the importance of sensors, how they are so means critical or means helpful in now day-to-day functioning remote with the help of remote applications. This is possible nowadays. These sensors are playing that much powerful role in that. Now, because energy saving into means cutting greenhouse emissions, the GE's digital power plant software is expected to reduce carbon emission by 3% and fuel use by 67,000 tons of coal per year. They are using this. And one study by Ericsson, which is a leading ICT provider, this project that IIT could cut carbon emissions 15% by next 7 to 8 years. So this is possible with the help of this. This 5G and IIT, of course, 5G in India, it is provided in only metros from 1st January, but day by day, it is going to then means smart cities and means big cities or district headquarters. It will be going by the year end. It will be just like at rural places. This 5G will be there. But even 2 months back, Government of India has invited the quotations for 5G spectrum, providing these 5G spectrum services to mobile users and to metros and state capitals. This is provided 5G services, but remaining they will be getting day by day when this technology will be implementing more. The Government of India is working on that also. So these both 5G and IoT are providing microgrids to brought online when main grid fails or is unavailable. Even one this Amersco, this is Massachusetts based company, this replace an old system plants with fully automated supported by 20,000 solar modules, and its microgrid at US Marine Corps recruit depot and Paris Iceland. This reduce energy use by 75%. So they are using that. By enabling more people to work on access entertainment remotely and avoid commuting and flying for business, 5G will save energy and reduce these greenhouse gases from vehicles and airplanes also, because vehicles air pollution is one of the challenge in metro in Delhi and Mumbai, particularly in India. And during COVID, these majority of the casualties were in these cities because corona attacks on the persons who are having weak means respiratory system or affected respiratory system. And one of the reason for this weak respiratory system or lungs function is this air pollution, and this is directly linked. And the majority of the problems is in metros, at least in Delhi and Mumbai, because so huge traffic jams are going on in these places, and because of this air pollution, citizens got infected with this functioning. And even two hospitals in Delhi, they have put that lungs picture for 1 week, in which artificial lungs models were created in that, and they have shown that within 1 week, these color of the lungs change to dark gray, just like coffee color. Means this indicating these lungs have been infected within 1 week. So this is also means possible to protect this carbon footprint also. Now, if driving is necessary, then 5G can save time, fuel, and vehicle emissions by reducing traffic congestion and idling. We have seen that when we are nowadays, Google Map is there, or if we keep our GPS on, then no need to ask any person any location. Just put your GPS system on, and GPS system guides us to taxi owners. I have visited 2 years back to Kolkata, and in which that person, that driver, I have to catch my train. And since I have gone to there by giving one expert lecture in training program, and when I drive, means I hired that taxi, so he put his GPS on, and he has taken to me another route to Calcutta Howrah station. Calcutta means Howrah railway station. So I was asking why you have changed this when we are, because I have gone to in morning, I have gone to one route, and you are now in back you are getting another route. So he told me, sir, I have taken this clue or this indication by the help of this GPS on, and in which this is indicating if you put that from your location to where destination is there, and it gives us our indication how much time it will take in reaching. Means traffic congestion problem, it is identified there in 5G. So hence, with the help of this 5G, we can reduce this means traffic congestion or alternative modes. This is also suggesting in which time you can arrive this place. Means it is saving time, fuel, and vehicle emissions, and traffic congestion also. So this is possible with the help of this 5G. This with the help of the sensors and cameras, 5G use real-time data to keep traffic flowing, changing traffic lights to avoid delay. Even Carnegie Mellon's Metro 21st, that is Smart Cities Institute Traffic control system employs radar and cameras to reduce idling, which has resulted in 20% fewer greenhouse gases in Pittsburgh by using this smart city control systems, traffic control system. This 5G can also reduce the number of cars on the road by helping drivers find parking spaces and enable ride sharing. Means even they can also guide us regarding this parking. So this is also possible with the help of this 5G. Even more energy consumption and emissions according to these ICT applications. This 4% of global energy consumption and 1.4% of global carbon emissions is possible. So by this report of this Ericsson report projects that by the end of 2025, 5G will have 2.6 billion subscribers. This will reach to 5.8 billion, means nearly more than twice within 3 years. So this ICT is expected to be responsible for 1/5 of global energy consumption, and by 2040 it will generate 14% of world greenhouse gas emissions. Hence 5G is the ultimate in which we are now finding this cloud computing data center. It is funded by Berkeley Labs, in which this data direct networks are there and all cloud computing data centers are there. Just like nowadays cloud computing is becoming more popular. Those companies who cannot have their own data storage systems, they are hiring this or utilizing this cloud computing centers so that they can store their data. This data storage enters that handle cloud computing and websites and store information, and this accounts for 84% of total energy global use. By half of this goes towards keeping transmission equipment in base cooling station school. This Berkeley Lab report found that US data centers consume 70 billion kilowatts or 0 billion units, because our power consumption it is in kilowatt hours, kVh. To this they have projected to consume 73 billion kVh. Even this smart cell based can save 3 times much power as 4G base stations. Then life cycle impacts are there. So, in which one Swedish company, they have calculated that a smartphone produced 40 kg of CO2 during its entire lifetime, with most of it coming from the production phase. This manufacturing of IC integrated circuits, sourcing raw material, production of phone cells, then assembly and distribution. Then they have impact of 68 kg CO2. This manufacture of IoT enabled devices and cell phones and small cells means more mining and use of many more renewable metals that are difficult to recycle. This is also one of the new means other side of the or negative side of that. If we are using then this electronic waste disposal is also one of the new challenge, because in developed countries this is the new challenge in which electronic waste management is now becoming one emerging challenge, and how to dispose, because we cannot throw these mobile phones or electronic gadgets or computers or TVs on any side. At present in India we are throwing anywhere, but if we are in developed countries then we have to deposit our electronic gadgets to that supplier or service stations, and he gets entered in that. If we have replaced or we have given back to that, and in place that we have taken new. Then so that this will be disposed by that concerned authorities there, electronic waste management system. But in India we are, if we are having old mobile phone or old any TV or any gadgets, and we are throwing anywhere to scrap vendors. But it is, if it is in developed countries, then we have to supply or submit or deposit that to authorized service stations. Deposit centers are there, and they take entry of that, because every electronic item it is having IP address, and that IP is entered in that. This we have deposited to them, and hence it is not our responsibility. It is the responsibility of that authorities. So here this more efficient cooling is also possible. To even this entity Docomo, this is Japan mobile company, they have developed green based stations with solar photovoltaic panels and smart power control, reducing commercial power consumption by 40%. Even in Hangzhou, China, these new base stations using intelligent voltage boosting and cooling and solar modules, they have saved 4310 kilowatts of power per site, cutting 1125 kilograms of CO2 emissions. Even Nokia deployed a liquid cooled base station in Finland. Of course, in mobile, Nokia was the leader, market leader in, and Finland is the very small area. It is Iceland, but it is very small area. But this Nokia company was the, up till now, Nokia was the market leader. Now Samsung and other competitors are there. In which this that Nokia this use water to cool the station instead of air consume 10% of energy traditional cooling. So they have reduced to means this have reduced carbon emissions by 90%. Even energy generating and distribution companies are widely implementing this AI and IT applications. Here we are finding in which this extra high voltage power stations are these transmission lines are there in which this drone is governing this surveillance of this is by drones. One drone we are finding and this is taking the pictures of that. Now they are connecting all the elements of power and generation and consumption. Even these now drones, these are used and checking the solar panels. Solar power plants are there in which huge farmhouse, just like farmhouse are there, solar farmhouse are there in which solar cells are fit in that farmhouses and power generation is there, and all this is even no any single centimeter or single profile is means unleft. All this taken in cameras and pictures are taken, and after this 3D mapping, so these solar panels are analyzed. And in case of any failure, any wear and tear, any foreign material, any dust, dirt, moisture, if any present is available, then with the help of these drones, now drone sprays are used. Even drones are now used for agriculture, for spraying the fertilizers. To same this water droplets are sprayed on this, and all these are cleaned. Or in case moisture is there, then dry air is provided in that, and all this moisture is removed from that sites. So this is possible nowadays, because with manual it is somewhat difficult and time consuming, but with help these drones it is easily possible and more efficient. Then the significance of IoT based renewable energy systems. Now this is the case of air turbines, in which these blades and turbines are industrial assets that wear out over time and therefore needs inspect annually. So I will be showing that figures in which we can have imagination how this is possible. Even investment in developing countries, this China and India, they have invested 17%, whereas developing countries have invested only 2% in renewable energy. China and India are investing more in renewable energy optimization. And this is the picture what they seen, where these drones, they are taking the picture of these solar farms are there, huge farms are there in number of acres. And imagine how it will be possible if it is drones are not there. Then how we can take the pictures, and if any foreign material or any dust and dirt, if there are any wear and tear is there. So with the help of these drones, all panels are analyzed, 3D mapping pictures are taken. And after this analysis, if any minor cracks are there or any outside objects are there, so easily immediately removed at that site. These drones provide practical solution for day-to-day problems of business in power transmission, distribution, wind and solar. Now these different drones for energy industry, these are distinguished or classified according to the drone type. that is fixed wing, rotary blades, and hybrid drones. And industry, whether it is oil and gas, power, renewable, because these are the major users, oil and gas and power and renewable energy. And applications, whether it is inspection, whether it is leakage, spillage, response, security, and surveillance. Because oil and gas industry, they are facing the challenge of leakages, pipeline leakages. Of course, these leakages, these are means technical leakages are not there. Artificial leakages are created by the slum dwellers or from areas where these pipelines, these oil and gas pipelines are passing through, and the slum areas are the resident. They are means typing or means oil theft or gas theft. They are artificially creating that leakages there and pipelines, and they are taking unauthorized, and this is causing trouble because oil and gas, it is so hazardous, inflammable, and anything can happen. Accidents are happening on this pipelines if oil and gas leakages are there, and with the help of these drones it is easily tracked now, and hence at least accidents are prevented by this. Then by technology, hardware and software, and by region, different regions are there, and this drones are used. Now drone markets, it has increased to 25.53 compared with the previous. Yes, so these drones for energy industry, so these are the market leaders, and we have seen that in that no any Indian companies there, majority of the are US company, one is of China, two of Canada, two of UK, and remaining are from US. So these are the market leaders for global drone market for energy. And these companies are totally devoted to energy industries, these market leaders. Now this is the case of Delhi, in which Delhi government or Delhi BSES company, they have utilized these applications of drones in energy sector, and they are servicing these to 43 lakhs customers. Of course, the population of Delhi is nearly 1.5 crores, but registered authorized customers are 43 lakhs. This is data of 2 years back. So registered from those who are getting energy tariff bill. So these are 43 official these customers. So this company, with the help of collaboration with the US Guru company and BSES, they are providing this. And even with the help of this infrared thermal scanning, drones assist inspection of overhead lines and equipment, grid substations, connections, damaged switches, capacitors, detection of theft of equipment, and intelligent line routing. So these drones are used for this purposes. Because if any of these are disturbed or failure is there, then it is total system is blocked. And we can imagine the situation in metros where majority of the buildings are having lifts and elevators, and in case power forcible power shortage is there or any breakdown is there, then what can be the condition of the persons, those who are in the lifts or the elevators. Hence, this is the case where BSES Discom New Delhi, they are collaborated with Dhruva UAV for visual and thermal mapping of electrical infrastructure and maintenance and planning. So this, they are using this for reliable power supply in Delhi. Now, by using this smart grid, completely integrated system is created from power generation to power distribution. This is of course this is there. Even Maharashtra MSEB, they are utilizing this, and Maharashtra have become the first in India, which is implementing these drones for aerial surveillance and inspection of extra high voltage power transmission lines and towers to reduce the risk to stop maintenance costs and minimize the losses from outages. So up till now this was manually, and but now with the help of these drones, this is so much means easier and efficient, and immediate actions are taken with the help of this high resolution close-up photographs and videos of EHV lines and towers in each zone. These ultra HD cameras are used in that. So this assists better assessment of faults. Now these drones are also means detecting the defects at various stages. So with the help of these 3D maps and surveys, so pipeline or gas pipelines and oil and gas industry, they are utilizing this. So drones are helping in this way also. If this is the case where we are finding the picture in which drones, these drones can take the picture up to 25 kilometers pipeline of oil and gas. Means their span of taking the pictures or range of taking the pictures is nearly 25 kilometers. So, which it is possible nowadays. Drones are having so high efficient cameras in which they can take the pictures, and all these are means attached with this some special software are there, and with the help of these apps, energy engineers or maintenance engineer, they are taking that pictures, mapping 3D mapping, and after analyzing this, if any unwanted thing is happening, then immediately rectification is done. Because this oil and gas industry is more challenging and inflammable. Oil is also inflammable, gas is inflammable, and any minor leakages or fault in that result in explosion of the whole oil and gas. And majority of the oil and gas pipelines are passing through residential areas also. And these companies cannot take the risk of any leakage impact. Hence, these are taken care. Even here we are finding one picture in which this engineer it is controlling and taking the pictures of one refinery. Another picture is the oil and gas exploration in deep sea, in which drones they are taking the pictures and governing that system. And here oil and gas in deep sea, where we can have, and we are seeing that how it is possible, because in India we are finding that ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Commission, so they are paying the highest package. Of course, this is blue chip company, Mini Ratna company, highest paying company in India. Beyond that, some engineers are avoiding to join this company because of the some hazardous nature of working. Hence, they are paying to their engineers and they are working only half time. Means for 6 months they are at leave, means official paid leave, and only 6 months they are working on this offshore. But beyond that, some engineers they are not comfortable due to health problems. Hence, these drones are used by these ONGC platforms at deep sea, and all these are with the help of these cameras, drones. Now, from my side, it is okay. Now, from your side, any suggestions or any doubts are there? Welcome.
Yes, anybody is having any doubt, they can ask. Yes, participants.
Yes, any suggestions or any further discussion, welcome. Because this new development is coming, IoT applications are almost in all areas. Now IoT have become the life of our everyday life. This is the essential element now. Without IoT, we cannot live. Take example of our phones, mobile phones.
Definitely, sir.
So this is there. Even this is now. These are the some of the cases of advanced countries in which the sensors are used. AI is used, big data analytics is used in that, and this is there. In renewable energy, it is there.
Yes, anybody is having any suggestion, doubt, anything?
Or further discussion, if they want to share some their knowledge, welcome. Probably I have not covered and they are knowing if this is possible, or there will be some argument, sir, how it is possible, or it is not there, to welcome, no problem in that. We can discuss and share so that it will be more, means knowledge will be shared.
I think, sir, everyone
No, any questions?
Yes, sir. Everything is clear to them.
No, there are two means solutions for that. If no any question means either whatever I have explained or discussed, it is 100% agreed or 0% agreed. Two
No,
things.
sir. 100% agreed, everyone.
Okay. Yes. If no question is there, then I am in doubt ki whether I am wrong path or I am 100% right. Probably this can be new things for them because these IT are now part and parcel of our life, and in generation, power generation, it is new things are coming. Of course, in India, it is yet to means in some areas it is there, but majority of the parts are not there. Hence, we are not knowing the exact impact of this IT. But in developed countries, it is there.
Yes, sir. In future, there is nothing is possible without this.
No, madam. You see one application of IoT. It is now you and me are doing this.
Yes, sir.
These participants, they are attending online. I am giving the lecture online. 2 years back, we all were in classrooms
Yes, sir.
and we were attending these classes. I was giving lecture and participants were attending the lecture physically, offline mode.
Yes,
But
sir.
due to Corona, this was the new condition. Of course, during 2-3 months, everybody was in dilemma how this will be possible online, and everything was going. And now it has become so effective that now even all majority of the things are going online, and it is
Yes, sir.
even more. It is now efficiently going on.
Yes, sir.
Because in 2 years we have seen in Corona in India, at least this Corona has, of course, this was threat for us, but now it has become opportunity for us also.
Yes, sir.
The same is in power line, power
Yes,
generation.
sir. This is the time to adopt all these type of things.
Yes. But
Yes, sir.
the drawback is it is the only money consuming because technology is there. For infrastructure, this huge investment is there, and skill power, manpower is required. Two things are the hurdles in India. Day by day, it will be resolved there.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much for this informative and valuable session and for sharing this deep knowledge with us. So this is the time for valedictory session. For this, I would like to invite our FDP coordinator, Dr. Vikas Gupta, sir.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello.
Yes.
My name is Shailendra Kumar Rawat. I am assistant professor of D.Y. Patil University of Pune. Actually, I have one question for the site of my presenter. Sir, actually, if the any invention for the device, we have to provide a miners. That means a miners can be taken the any information from the before the any happening in the underground mines. My question is a question for a miners can be saved at the time of working. Maybe you have to. Hello.
Oh, sir, tell me. I am listening.
Sir, can I open my video? Can I open?
Yes, sir. Sure, you can open your video.
Okay, ma'am. Hello.
I am not
actually,
able to see your face, but I am listening. Yes, tell me. I am listening to you.
Okay, sir. Okay, it's okay. Actually, my question is for the atmosphere. I want the atmosphere to create a person moving here and there in underground mines. First question, a miners can moving here there, but the communication process is very weak on the basis of a device. What communication process, that means the device is not properly 24-hour. A worker is working in a mine, sir. But my question is how to the regenerate energy, how to regenerate the energy of our device, because the continuous signal process between the system 2 and miners device, like a walkie-talkie, like anything like light, anything like anything was device, peripheral device, with the help of sensor device. If there any circumstances it happening before that, what is the saving the energy of a device to continuity without any breaking signal? So if there any requirement, yeah, any specific knowledge about this thing, any algorithm of this thing to save the energy and continuity of signal, the proper to miners to communicate to the others miners, because I want to save the some information before the any happening, like a toxic gas, like any bombardment, anything else. That means you have to save the person to open the ear, and some ventilations is also there to help us. So that means, can you give me some example, and if the any IoT device can be supporting to the that device, they have to enter a person and and communicate to the miners. So that is the any saving the energy for the device. So I want to something question. One question is, what is the saving energy? What is the heating properly communications? And the device is heating, so signal is breaking. How to the save the signal, and how to the communication processes without any breaking to communicate to each other. So that is the any example for the sensor device which is used as a saving the energy. That is my questions.
So this you are breaking of this sensing information or network. This can be technical problem of this network, just like mobile we are having now at present. I am facing this problem in which video is not working, only audio is working.
Yes, sir.
So this is a technical problem in my laptop, because when I started in Google Meet yesterday, it was working. Even in this Zoom, it was working. But probably this might be due to changes. It will be some contact might be because of camera. The same problem is in sensors also. In case some network problem is there, and we may not get that sensing of that information what is there, because this also depends upon the network issue, because sensors, they are working remotely and giving their signals to remotely, and if that network infrastructure is not there, hence we are finding that in case of this, if you are sitting in within the room, even from your next, in one hand you are having one mobile and in right hand another mobile, and if you dial, and because of this network problem, I'm telling just example, same can be in remote this sensors also. Take example of any BSNL company or any other company, in you are having two different companies mobiles numbers with you, and from left hand you are having one mobile, in one mobile another company's your card, and another company card, and in one hand if you dial to another company to your another number, probably we are finding that it is not reachable. In
Okay,
same
sir.
one person, not even 1 feet distance, just your body width, how much it is, nearly 10 to 12 inches distance between two hands, and same it is giving it phone is not reachable. Means the problem is of network issue, communication issue, signals issue. The same can be there if a network or infrastructure is not that much proper, or probably sensors of required nature, if our required parameters are not provided, then this may mismatch there. Same can be happening in that places. Hence, the main issue in renewable energy IoT applications in India is the high investment cost. So we want that reliable sensors, reliable equipments, infrastructure. That is the main hurdle in that, and that is the main problem there.
Yes, sir.
And regarding heat dissipation, that depends upon if it is of cheap company made, then it will dissipate more power, more heat, and it may fail there. And take
Yes, sir.
example of the aeroplanes which are totally running, or our satellites totally working remotely. We cannot compromise there. We want only reliable, even though what cost it is. That depends upon your reliability, where you want to compromise or not. If you are purchasing comparatively cheaper, less reliable equipment, then this will be the problem there. But in these very sensitive areas, we should not compromise on this cost. We should only believe on reliability.
Yes, sir.
That is there, and this is the main reason.
Yes,
Sensor
sir.
functioning, it is functioning as per its requirement, provided it is made of that company or that equipment or that components or that materials based way.
Yes, sir. That means ki if I found the localization format from the device to and communication person, so that means we have to number of device to movement from there. So maybe possible. That means the communication process is strong. That is the
Yes.
that means strong atmosphere you have to create with the help of sensor network device. And hello.
Main thing is, sir, infrastructure. If it is
Yes, sir.
perfect, reliable,
Yes,
you
sir.
tell me, up till now, Nokia was the perfect mobile set
Yes, sir. Mhm.
instrument. But now Samsung has come, and beyond that, some Chinese manufacturers are also there. Mobiles, even 4G mobile, take example of 4G mobiles in India, at least at present, majority of the customers are having 4G mobiles. This 4G mobile, it is costing nearly 5,000 and it is costing 70,000. If it is your Apple company, it is costing more than 70,000.
Yes, sir.
Any simple company, it is costing 5,000. 14 times more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Considering that reliability, you will be requiring more reliable, you will be purchasing Apple company or any good reliable company. I'm not advocating Apple or any discouraging any other company, but we are comparing why we are take example, simple example is of this Casio calculator.
Yes, sir.
I have taken admission in B in 1981, completed in 85, and I have used that FX81 calculator. That was a Casio calculator.
Okay.
And this I have inquired when I was in first year. I inquired from my seniors, and they told that they have used or they have learned 4 years back that this FX. Of course, this version was varying that, but Casio was there. And still today, I am confirming you, still today, our sons and daughters and our students, they are purchasing this means FX 998 or any other new version, but that is of this Casio company calculator. Of course, it's advanced version. Why we are purchasing that Casio? Because of its reliability. We are using Sony TV, we are using any Dell computers, the laptop I am using Dell. So why we have created this image? Because of course it is somewhat costlier, but this reliability factor is associated with this. Of course, in every electronic or infrastructure, IT infrastructure, cost is more. If we want more self-reliable, then we have to pay more. We cannot compromise on cost. We only require, if we require services, then we have to pay that money. Then only these error-free operations are possible. This problem which you are saying it is of overrating or not getting the signal, this is because we are not purchased these reliable components.
Yes,
reliability is there. Aeroplanes are working. You take all these are remote controlled. Even take example of any US airport where in every 1 minute air flights are taking off and taking on. Landing and taking off is there in every 1 minute. And imagine what can be the situation if any system get disturbed. What can be the situation? All these are remotely operated. Set program is set there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That
Thank
is
you,
there. Of course, suppliers are there, manufacturers are there, but when we are going to cost economics, then we are compromising. So that depends now whether you want only cost or you want reliability.
Yes, sir.
If you require error-free operation, then we have to pay more.
Yes, sir.
So that is there. Companies are there, good companies are there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Any further discussions?
Sir, actually, you have to send the mail of chat box. So that means I have to some discussion about depend upon the IoT based some information like a miner's work and underground mines. So that means we have to given the sub reference you have to me because I am working as an assistant professor, but in under my student is 4 student. They have to also working together in IoT based like Python language. We have to using the some analytical and algorithm value to applying in the mines to communication between them. So that means you have to benefit for my side. That means you have to give the mail. I have to sub details. You have to send it. Then after that you have to help me, sir.
Okay, okay, no problem. My email, my mobile number is with coordinators.
Yes, sir.
You can have, or you can search me in Google. I will be there.
Okay, okay. Ma'am is there. Ma'am is also sent to me. That means I have to give the information.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
sir.
You can just explore me on Google. I will be there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm
Thank you
not
very
that
much.
much popular. Just I'm telling you, confirming you. So with Google Guru is so everything is possible. You just put any word and all through what Google's are
Yes.
here. It is that,
Sir.
but coordinators, my mobile, my WhatsApp is that WhatsApp number is a mobile number same. Email is there, so we can have more interaction. No problem. Welcome in that.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Something guides for your side. That means I verify for my side.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
have to start all the things before you have to some informations like these things. Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, yes,
Thank you, sir.
yes, yes. Any questions from any participants? Welcome. Madam, coordinator, madam.
Yes.
Yes, we should thank
Yes,
to.
sir.
Yes.
we-
Divya madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah.
Now you
Dr.
can-
Ashok, this is Dr. Vikas Gupta.
Yes, sir.
It was very knowledgeable session what you have delivered. Thanks, Dr. Ashok sir. It was very good, and definitely people enjoyed that and get a knowledge out of that. Mr. Shailendra was having question also, so it was
Thank you,
very
sir.
it was very nice. Yes, participants, now it's time for group photo session. And after that group photo session, we'll be having a small feedback session from the all the participants, and during that feedback session only we'll post the quiz link, and you all have to complete that quiz by 3:30. You have to we'll be having a Google link. Okay, so now it's time for Sandeep sir, are you available?
Sir, kindly stop share your screen.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Now it is okay.
No, sir, your screen is sharing.
Now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
Okay.
Yes. So Sandeep sir, are you available?
Yes, sir.
So now it's time for photo session. Yes, all the participants kindly mute your audio and open your videos. Open your videos so that we can have a group photo session. It is very required thing for Atal FDP group photo session. Mind it, all the faculty members. I'll wait for next 2-3 minutes. It is compulsory for all. That's why I have posted 2-3 times. All the faculty members have to connect and for the group photo session. It is a mandatory requirement for AICT portal.
Okay.
Atal Academy.
Sir, from my side, should I tell you now?
Yes, Ashok sir, thanks a lot.
Please, sir, please. Thank you.
Welcome. Our director sir will also join for the group photo session. Sandeep sir, director sir जैसे ही आ जाएं तो आप सर को भी host कर दीजिएगा, है ना? We'll be having the group photo session. So it is a kind request from my side to all the faculty members, all the participants to kindly open your videos. You can mute your audio so that there'll be no cross voice, but it is required for all to open your videos. Please, kindly. Sandeep sir, kindly make view as a gallery view so that we can visualize.
Kindly, all the participants open your videos. Some of the participants have not opened their videos.
Yes, sir. It is in gallery view now.
Our respected Dr. Bhupendra Verma sir, director of TIT, he is also here with us. So all the participants kindly open your videos so that we can have the gallery view. Sandeep sir, are you able to see the gallery view? I am not able to see.
Yes, sir. It is in gallery mode.
Okay.
Sir, some of the participants have not opened their videos.
Yes, it is a kind request from all the participants to kindly open your videos. Then only we can have the group photo. संदीप सर 95% लोगों ने भी अगर वीडियोस ओपन कर दिए हैं तो वी कैन हैव द फोटो.
Around 70% students had opened their videos. But
Participants kindly open the videos. Yes, Sandeep sir, wait. I'm just posting the message in the WhatsApp group because people have not probably connected.
Yes.
Message डाल रहा हूँ मैं.
Yes, around 75% participants have opened their videos.
Yes, Sandeep sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all the participants kindly open the videos. This is the last call for group photo. It is very important. You may have a problem with in that case if you won't open your videos. Kindly open the videos. All the participants. Okay, Sandeep sir, it's okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Have you taken the complete group photo?
Yes, sir. All pics are taken by us.
Okay. 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 Now it's okay. Yes. So participants, now it's time for feedback. Okay. Feedback is a very important point for the success of any event. If anybody wants to give feedback about the FDP so that we can improve in the future. Yes. Anybody wants to give feedback, he or she can open the video and
Hello.
can give. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. 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 You are audible.
Okay, sir. Sir, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Vikas Gupta for a great faculty development program. Nearly all the participants and their presentations were just what that I needed to boost my change in the field of IoT and working practices. Especially Dr. Ashok Matani, Professor, Government College of Engineering, Jalgaon, Maharashtra,
Sir,
and Miss Rucha Vyas.
Swapnil Jadhav ji, kindly open your
kindly
videos.
open your videos, sir.
Kindly open your videos, please.
Okay, sir, there is some problem with my camera.
Okay.
I will. Shall I join again?
Yeah, you can join again. We can have a better view if you'll open the video. And
Okay,
Sandeep sir, whosoever is giving the feedback, kindly pin that person.
Yes,
kindly
sir.
Pin that.
Sir,
Yes,
I will connect within 5 minutes again.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Any other person who is interested to give
My voice is audible, sir. This is Ajit Khan, sir. Vikas, sir.
Yeah, Ajit. Yeah, Ajit sir. Bilkul.
Good afternoon, one and all. This is Ajit Khan, Assistant Professor in Technocrats Institute of Technology, Bhopal. First of all, I would like to thank AICTE Atal Academy for providing such a great learning platform. And also thanks to management and coordinator of Technocrats Group for organizing 5 days online faculty development program on Internet of Things IoT under AICTE. A really wonderful, Dr. Vikas Gupta sir, really wonderful, amazing FDP program, and all the speakers, because all the sessions regarding IoT are very effective, informative, and knowledgeable with lot of energy. So
Thank
once
you.
again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other who is interested to give the feedback? Kindly participants.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
My name is Shailendra Kumar Rawat.
Yeah, Mr. Shalin. Yeah.
So kindly open your video.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Actually, I am also very thankful to Atal presentator, not a presentation, presentator like AWS, Python programming, AWS programming language, and how to use the AWS in a cloud computing. That is the benefit for my side, because I have taken the class for the cloud computing. What is the intense clear for the future, for the job purpose? That means I have to more knowledge about how you want to do something like a cloud on the basis of internet, or how to the virtualization to communicate to each other. So if any peripheral device you have to not occurring, so you have to sharing the informations with the help of your own infrastructure, and to create the particular to given the training. That is the benefit for the AWS program. After that, second thing today morning, for how to the work as a biological terms in the basis of to chemical fermentations in the body to fluctuate in the time of heart attack, in the time of anything else. The biological technical view, the presentation is a very good for my side. So I have to given the question at the time of complete the course training, that I have to send. That is the effective answer for the site of professor. I'm very thankful to you, and sending to the mail at that person. So given the response at the moment. So that is very thankful to you. And the last, IoT, that is the my project work is like a underground mass, how to communicate to each other from the miners, how to save the life, because they have to very hard at work and do the work without any barrier between them, because if the any happening at the time, so how to save the person, or how to the communication the process. The IoT, that means the very good part for the communication barrier to between them, to properly to send the information, and after that we have to send the information from the saving for the miners. This is also benefit for myself. There are three papers, that the three conditions is also benefit for my side in Atal program.
Thank you, Mr. Shalin. It was very nice feedback what you have given. Thanks a lot, Mr. Shalin. Yes, anybody else?
Yes, sir. Should I?
Yeah. Who is there?
I'm Dr. Rinki from BS Anandpuria Institute of Technology and Management in Faridabad.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank.
Ma'am, kindly open your videos, ma'am.
Okay, some network issues there. Okay, I'll open the video.
If possible.
Yeah. So I would like to thank the organizing team member for their great effort for organizing such a wonderful session. And thanks all the speakers for sharing their deep knowledge with us and their comprehensive presentation. So actually, this is a great way to keep oneself updated with the latest development in various fields of technology from the domain experts. So we look forward to the similar session in future too, sir. So
Welcome.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, and all the organizing team also. Right. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Thank you, ma'am, to give the nice feedback.
Sir, one question, मेरे तरफ से एक क्वेश्चन है, पूछूं? सर, इस तरह के सेशन आप कब तक करवाएंगे? क्योंकि मुझे इस सेशन से हमें हमारे जो आजकल के जो फैकल्टीज हैं या हमारे स्टूडेंट हैं, जो भी हैं, हम इन्हें स्टूडेंट बेस पे भी आप अगर करवाते हैं, जैसे FDP प्रोग्राम, फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम, इसी तरह से SDP टाइप का कोई अगर
Yes, we at Technocrats in the verge of always organizing these STTPs and FDPs. And as far as this FDP is concerned, as and when AICT Atal Academy will give us opportunity to arrange these types of feedback, I'll definitely do.
Sir, actually, this is the for my questions. Our student, sir, you are a
Definitely
faculty.
for
Your
students
program
as
is
well.
there.
For
But
students as well. For
हाँ,
students as well, we arrange the STTP. I'll let you know. I'll
yes, sir.
message all the faculty members as well that we are going to arrange the STTP. Any other
Yes.
other people participants
Thank you, sir.
having feedback, want to give feedback?
Yes, sir. Amrita Khera is there.
Yes, Amrita ma'am.
Sir, session is very informative and speaker is giving a very knowledgeable session, especially Mr. Abhigyanam Giri sir, who gave the hands-on IoT device, and it include programming parts also. And I especially thanks to Vijayasree Chaurasia ma'am also, who gives the IoT session for especially biomedical. So all the session is very good. We want to attend in future also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Amrita ma'am. Thanks a lot. Yes, anybody else want to give feedback?
Thank you, Amrita ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Very nicely organized FDP. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Vivek Sharma, Head of Computer Science.
Sir, kindly open your video, sir.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Vivek Sharma, Head of Computer Science in the Department, ICIT.
Yeah.
And first of all, I am congratulating all the organizers of this wonderful FDP. It was so relevant. And in fact, it has, to me, it has provided a lot of information. The applications of IoT, we know that IoT is everywhere. But the best thing about this workshop was that it covered so many areas, so many fields that so many faculty members must have been benefited from that. Starting from the signal processing to the healthcare and data analytics. A very nice session was given by Abhishek Bhatt. Then Python development, hands-on experience were there. Then we had drone applications, and today a very nice session was given by Dr. Vijayasree in the morning. That was, I think it was cardiac pacemakers. Then we had some, relaxing moment with yesterday when we had a nice, relaxation exercise in which the difference between the conscious and subconscious mind was very clearly made, and so many things were there. So I hope in future we will be participating in similar wonderfully organized FDPs. So I congratulate Dr. Vikas Gupta, Divya Jain, Sandeep ji. Thank you very much, and thanks for giving us the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Vivek sir.
Yeah.
Any other participant wants to give feedback?
Good afternoon, sir. It's Geeta from Dehradun.
Yes,
I am lecturer at Government Polytechnic, Suddawala, Dehradun.
Yes,
Sir, first of all, जब मैंने FDP ज्वाइन किया था, तो जस्ट एक फोरम पूरा करने के लिए ज्वाइन किया था. बट जब FDP स्टार्ट हुआ, day 1 to day 5 till, मैंने एक भी a fraction of second भी FDP छोड़ी नहीं. मैं घर में हूँ और पूरी कंप्लीटली एक FDP, एक सेशन मैंने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंगली ज्वाइन किया. यहाँ मुझे एक चीज ये लगा, केवल थियोटिकली नहीं, साथ के साथ प्रैक्टिकल भी जो आपने दिया, बहुत ही बढ़िया था. आप सबको lot of thanks.
Thanks a lot, madam. Thanks a lot for your such a good words. Thanks a lot, madam. Anybody else wants to give feedback?
Good afternoon, sir. This is Varsha.
Yeah.
From GTBIT, IP University, Delhi.
Okay.
I would like to thanks coordinator team as well as my friend Dr. Archana Sharma. Because of her, I came to know about this FDP. If she will not tell, so I will not become the fortunate to attend this such kind of informative and fabulous FDP. Mostly speakers are very excellent speaker, and their knowledge here it becomes very long if I will take the name of each and every speaker. Just I want to say thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for nice words. Thanks a lot. These all are the motivating words which will definitely motivate us for the next program which we are going to organize. Definitely. Thanks a lot, madam. Yes.
We are looking for the future. Thank you.
Any other participant want to give feedback?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to congratulate to our director, sir, Dr. Bhupen Verma, sir, HOD, Dr. Vikas Gupta, sir, Viva madam, and all the faculty members. And all the sessions conducted by different experts was very informative, and the content was planned very nicely so that all the can be benefited theoretically as well as practically, and all the doubts were were cleared in a very easy manners, which was very important in any FDP. That most of the sessions were practically oriented, like as far as agriculture is concerned, medical applications are concerned. So I would like to thanks to all the coordinators, and also I'm thanks to my friend Varsha. She has joined this FDP and gave a very wonderful feedback to us, and we are looking forward for such nice sessions in future.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, madam, for your motivating words. Thanks a lot. Yes. Anybody else wants to give feedback?
Good afternoon, sir. This is Dr. Arvind Kaur from BIT Bhopal.
Yeah. Okay. Arvind, sir. Yeah.
Especially thanks to you. Whenever you send the message for attending the workshop, I think this is the simply workshop. Whenever I attend in the previous, but when I attend this workshop from day 1, in the continued day 1 to day 5, I have continually attend all the sessions. So thanks for your team, Vikas sir, Nevale sir, Viva madam, and thanks for the Atal to provide this type of opportunity for all the participants in the field of IoT, signal processing, and other biomedical applications. Thank you, Vikas sir.
Thank you, Arvind sir. Thanks a lot for your nice words and motivating words. Thanks a lot. Yes. Anybody else?
Sir, this is Swapnil Jadhav from Loknete Gopinath Munde, College of Engineering, Nasik. Sir, first of all, I would like to thank Vikas Gupta sir for such a wonderful faculty development program.
Yeah.
Nearly all the presentations were just what I needed to boost my change in field of IoT and working practices. Especially Ashok Mitani sir from Government College of Engineering, Jalgaon, Maharashtra, and Rucha Vyas madam from ICA Foundation had a wonderful session with lot of useful information to one of my ongoing project. I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciated your structured approach to such a wide topic, which was fantastic take always, which I can put in practice. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Swapnil. Thanks for your motivating words. Yeah. Anybody else wants to give feedback?
Good afternoon all. This is Makarand Wangiga from Maharashtra, Nanded.
Okay. Sir, kindly open your videos. We can have a look as well.
Yeah. It is there only. So I really thank Atal and Bhopal Technocrat Institute for organizing such a beautiful session, which is covering all the aspects of covering all the aspects from our different subjects, starting with the introduction, along with the IoT, along with the COVID situations, and what we can say, the mental ability, how to enhance it, and all this stuff. Starting with day 1 to day 5, it is just like the feast that we are enjoying in terms of knowledge. So I congratulate all the teams on camera and behind the camera who is always consistent to help us in all the phases. So this is a great FDP that I have attended, and I have enjoyed it along with all the sessions. So thanks a lot, and congratulate to the team.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It was very nice to have wonderful words from your side. Thanks a lot, sir. Yes, anybody else want to give the feedback? So it's okay. So now we are going towards our next part. Our director sir is there. He is going to give some concluding remarks about the FDP. Sir, please, sir. Dr. Bhupendra Verma, sir, Director, Technocrats Institute of Technology. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, all. Dear participants, as there is end of all physical systems, because am I audible? No?
Yeah, sir, you are perfectly audible.
So this is there is always an end of all physical systems. So we have also reached to the end of this 5 days FDP on IoT. I think for all of us as teachers, it is really a very different, interesting, and soothing experience to attend a class by keeping all our routine jobs, responsibilities apart for some time. I hope this FDP must have been very fruitful for all the participants and organizers too. Topic of the FDP was really very interesting and very useful. As we all know that IoT is evolving and is being experimented with and used in tons of different ways, as we have all heard from the different experts, then we can ever imagine IoT is slowly taking over all the fields, and the applications of Internet of Things are growing by the day. It finds its application in smart homes, smart surveillance system, smart cities, smart parking systems, self-driven cars, IoT, retail shops, farming, wearable devices, smart grids, industrial internets, supply chain management, and whatnot. In fact, the influence of IoT technologies on society and human beings have been strong. With the number of applications of IoT is increasing, the IoT research field is also increasing, and there where this FDP actually finds its application. IoT really hosts a lot of scope. If we take a quick look at the statistics, as per the Fortune Business Insights, the global Internet of Things market was evaluated at $250 billion in 2019, and it is anticipated to reach $1,463 billion by the end of 2027. It is expanding at a compound annual growth rate of 24.5% in the forecast period. See the expansion of IoT. Globally, every second 127 IoT devices are being connected to the internet. Every second. It is just a report from McKinsey. Well, all pretty much speaks for itself. Beginners who have just want to make their career in IoT, they must be quite lucky. In this direction, actually, Department of EC, Technocrat Institute of Technology, take an initiative to organize the AICTE Atal sponsored FTP on Internet of Things with the aim to provide the participants a in-depth learning exposure. Actually, I was listing the comments from the various participants. What I, Dr. Vikas Gupta and whole team, what we planned was actually to give a practical exposure along with the theories. And I think we have reached to a success for that, because most of the participants, they have given in their feedback that they have also learned the practical things. Because IoT is not the thing which you can just simply learn by theory. It needs a lot of experiment. So on behalf of Technocrat Institute, I appreciate the efforts made by whole organizing team, especially Dr. Vikas Gupta, coordinator of FDP, Dr. Vibha Tiwari Madam, Professor Sandeep Niwade ji, Professor Vidya, Professor Hemant, Professor Shivraj, Mr. Balindu, Diksha, and congratulate the whole team for this successfully completing this FTP.
Thank you, sir.
Just as an institute, institute will keep on supporting by all means for such activities with the support of management and institute. Finally, I can only say that in days to come, the technology of IoT will develop further to make most of our daily activities simpler, easier, and remotely controllable. I congratulate all participants. I thanks all the speakers. In fact, I must also thanks all the participants. So congratulations to all the organizers. That's all from my side. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your such a motivating words, and it was very nice to hear from you that you also definitely right from the beginning you were motivating me to do this all. I am able to think of that time in the March when we were preparing the proposal of FDP, and I have taken so many reference from other discussions also and from your side as well. And after that, we have finally designed this. Thanks a lot, Director sir. Now it's time for the final end of the story, that is vote of thanks. So should I, sir? I should start with the final end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So the end of the story is a new beginning for many others. On this note, let's conclude the remarkable memory and the knowledgeable faculty development program on IoT. On behalf of Technocrats Institute of Technology, I, Dr. Vikas Gupta, Professor and Head, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Technocrats Institute of Technology, Bhopal, and the FDP coordinator, sincerely thank the dignitaries for being with us in the event and enlightening us with their knowledge in the field. I shower my heartfelt gratitude to the professors or the eminent speakers for their wholehearted support rendered in the success of this FDP. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank all the participants for their sincere participation and cooperation. Definitely, I am really thankful to all the participants. I would also like to thank AICT Training and Learning Program Academy, Atal Academy, for sponsoring this faculty development program. I would also like to thank management of TIT Group of Institution, Honorable Chairperson Madam, and the entire administration for their support and motivation. We all are thankful to the great motivator and innovator, definitely our director, sir, Dr. Bhupen Verma, sir. He is the foremost motivation behind this FDP. And at the end, I am thankful to the key person involved in the success of the story, this FDP, that is my department faculty members. My co-coordinator faculty members, Dr. Vibha Tiwari Madam and Professor Sandeep Nemade sir, also Professor Divya Jain Madam, Professor Shivraj Singh sir, Professor Hemant Verma sir. Their efforts were really marvelous. Okay. At the end, I would like to thank one and all who directly or indirectly helped me for the success of this faculty development program, especially our social media cell, Balendu ji, Diksha and Almas, what they have done for this success of this faculty development program. That concludes a remarkable, memorable and knowledgeable event. And we promise you all that in the coming time, we will enter in the field with some more innovative ideas to nourish your mind. On the behalf of Technocrats Institute of Technology, I promise you that this may be the end of this FDP, but undoubtedly, this is the new beginning. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So